All right. Hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi, everyone.
Hey, welcome back, guys. We
Welcome,
are
welcome.
brimming. I'm brimming with anxiety. Like I want it to happen. I want it to start right now. I want to cover it
Really?
right now.
Okay. okay. Okay, well, let's go then. Okay.
Like I just want the strikes to start. I just
Now,
want them to start.
yeah. Why? Why? Can you explain to people who might not get it? Why are you so eager for the strikes to
So
start?
if anyone who doesn't know, why are you might be wondering why an Iranian would want the strikes to happen. Well, it's because we, the Iranian people, tried everything we possibly could and it didn't work. And we came so close and it didn't work. And so this is the only option left, is to have a foreign country like the United States or Israel to come in and help us, and for them not to do regime change, but to help the Iranian people achieve regime change. And we are yet again on the cusp of the renewal of the conflict, which is set to happen literally any second. It could happen right now, today, tomorrow, next weekend. We just know that it will happen. And I'm ready. I'm ready. What
We
about
have
you?
been ready. We have been waiting for this for all our lives, right? All our lives.
Yeah, we've always wondered our entire lives, when is the Islamic Republic going to fall? Is it going to be within our lifetime? Hopefully it's within our 20s or 30s or whatever, right? And it's finally happening. We are seeing it. And it kind of came out of, like for most people, it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, we have never seen anything other than the Islamic Republic in Iran. And we only hear about how amazing it used to be. And we were now, like for years, we have been told that we could go back to that. And we have never experienced that. And we have parents that experience that and they tell us how good it used to be. And we look at all these other countries with freedom, and we were told that not only we had that, we were better than that. And then we're like, what the fuck then? What the fuck did you do? Right? Like what? Like everybody gets to be proud of, we have to be proud of our history. And we get to be also proud of our people, but we don't get to be proud of the current conditions of our country. And everything is going to shit. And we don't like we do I mean, we'll see our people suffer. And for years, for all our lives, we have been told that one day we're going to go back to how it used to be. And we have been waiting and we've been trying everything. And as Ali, that's a very good way of describing how these days are such roller coasters for us, because we're so close to victory. It seemed like it, but we're also experiencing the darkest chapters of our history with our people suffering. So we have to deal with the emotional roller coaster of being so hopeful that victory is right within our reach, but also experiencing the worst that our people have ever gone through. And it's hard to manage the feeling of hope that victory might be right around the corner, and also the cost. We're looking at the situation in Iran right now and the cost associated with that at the same time.
The cost is unbearable.
Mm.
It's a cost that is going to take years to understand what exactly the cost was. And even if we do come up with the statistics of the economic cost and the cost of human lives, how are you going to how are we ever going to understand what the cost in mental and psychological damage was
Mm.
for like people that we were so dignified, so educated, and we have been forced down to the ground, pressed into the dirt, And it's hurt me since childhood, really. Um, and probably that's where my obsession came from, is actually hearing stories of Iran from my dad when I was, as soon as I can remember, maybe like 4, 5, 6, 7. And I would hear all the stories of like, Aghay Shir, Aghay Bab, like Mr. Lion, I'd hear all those stories, but I also hear stories of Iran's like this and Iran's like that, and Iran was like this. And I'm like, well, why can't we just have that? And then I learned the Islamic Republic, that's a thing. And
Mm,
from childhood, I hated them, especially when I lived there. When I lived in Iran, every single day, I kid you not, I woke up and I thought to myself, I wish I was not here. And that was just because of my interactions with the school that I had to go to that was very pro regime, and which was it was a horrible time. But then when the school was over and we got to see friends and family, that was great. I felt like I've
mm,
completely fit in. And in America, when you walk around, you don't really see, it's not that everyone looks like you, everyone talks like you, or eats like you, but in the motherland, the country where you're ethnically from, everyone looks, talks, feels, and has the same morals and values from you. So it's very easy to fit in. Um, but for the diaspora, it's actually kind of hard, because when I lived in Iran, they would call me Ali Khariji, which is Ali the foreigner, and I'm an American when I go to Iran. And then when I live in America, they're like, oh, you're Iranian. So you're known as Iranian in foreign countries and you're known as an American in Iran. But you got to lean into it. You have to lean into it because that's just the way things are. Don't take it too hard on yourself and work with what you've got.
mm. I think after this, the Iranian diaspora going back to Iran will not be seen as Khariji or foreigner ever again. Because I think what we went through, so many Iranians inside Iran were relying on Iranians outside of Iran to be their voice. And the connection between us, there was a bridge that was built, because I always noticed that there was a slight, you know, we weren't the, even when I do my Persian show, sometimes they had a little bit of an accent and people would notice it, and they call me, it was like, originally when I started this, you're not seen as, even though, I mean, I lived in Iran for 20 years, right? But just because I was outside of Iran for 20 years, there's some people who don't see you as fully Iranian anymore, right? But that was at the beginning. I think after years of, because of social media and mutual working of Iranians inside Iran and outside of Iran for liberating Iran, that separation does not exist anymore. I think the divide between us has completely, it's all over, especially after early January, and ever since the Iranian people. I mean, even before that, I think it was Prince Reza Pahlavi's movement bonded Iranians outside and inside Iran with each other in a way that nobody, at least among us, among and within this fight, dares separates us anymore, right? So I think that if you go back to Iran, after all of this fighting on the same camp against the regime, I think if you go back to Iran after this, you're going to have a different experience. I think the whole idea of Iranians outside of Iran are different from Iranians inside Iran has completely melted away. That's what I think.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. And I hope that
Mm.
the government itself has programs and encourages the mingling and mixing of the diaspora with Iranians born in Iran.
Mm.
Like, doesn't Israel do that, where they try and have
Yep.
Jews from around the world come back
Yep.
to?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Exactly. Yeah.
we could do something
Yeah.
like that.
That's actually a very good point. That's actually a very good point. We need to have uh, we need to have something like that.
Yeah,
How do you respond? Can you respond to this question?
yeah. I lived in Iran when the Green Movement happened, so it was like 2009. During that time, for a couple of years. Was it 2009 or was it 2010?
find it. Okay.
Well, shall we?
Yes.
Do you want to be wowed by what they're showing on TV now? Because they're continuing to push the weapons to the regular citizens. Everyone's saying 2009. Okay, cool. So, oh, you know what? Jovicha said 10 million diaspora. You know, I think it's a little bit more than that, actually. I'm not sure,
Really?
but that's an interesting point.
What's the
So if the
population of
population,
Iranian
the population
diaspora?
of Iran is 90 million, then you have another 10 million outside. You know, that puts us, we're right at 100 million globally.
I thought together diaspora inside and outside we were 90 million.
Well, the population of Iran would be taken from a census, and that would be just within the borders of Iran. So if that's accurate, then Iran alone has 90 million, which is great. And the more the merrier, I think.
Let me see. Okay, hold on. So what's the total number? I don't think we're 10 million.
You don't think so?
No. Outside, no. But we'll see. There's no.
Oh, okay.
You go to,
yeah, it's more like 4 to 5 million then outside of Iran.
Yeah, I think inside and outside together we're going to be like 93 million. I think inside we're not 90 million inside. I think we're 89, 88 or something.
The 10 million number comes from mixed or second generation descendants who are like not as like they're half something else or a quarter Iranian.
So it's something between 4 to 5.4 million. Yeah.
So we'll get to 100 in a couple years.
Yeah.
Which one should we show first? So both of these are weapons that the IRGC used during the January 8th and 9th protests. Should we show, let's just show this one first, the video, so people can see this. Okay. Let's go here.
Oh, nice.
All right, guys, be ready to get a little angry because this is going to bring back memories.
This is a new one. Oh my God, guys, this is what the fuck?
Yes.
This is not the same one as yesterday.
No, it's not.
What the fuck?
این زامن هستش خب به سمت انتها
بعد این میشه
180 درجه به سمت جلو رگبار میشه.
خیلی خوب میایم عقب درسته؟
بله فشار میدیم به اضافه
فشار میدیم بره جلو
آماده شلیک هست.
اصلی خالی هم گفتم به کسی نگیرید این غریبه که هیچکی نباشه رو به میزه.
And he shoots it. Wow, that guy really likes shooting inside the studio.
Wait, so there, guys, for people who haven't been here yesterday or the day before, they are teaching on state TV not how to use like AK-47, the Kalashnikov, like we showed you yesterday. They're showing pro-regime Iranians on state TV on how to use, what the hell is that even? Is that a dushka? What is that called?
That's a PKM machine gun, I believe of Russian origin, but it's an older weapon.
Guys, they're basically telling they're showing pro-regime Iranians how to use machine guns like that to shoot into crowds of Iranian people in case there's an uprising. That's what they're doing.
And that's not all. That is not all. Also, someone said that's a marksman rifle and not a machine gun. That is 100% a machine gun. You can see that they are feeding like a belt of bullets into it. It's not a marksman rifle. You see that? It's meant to keep on firing, which is why you actually have this magazine in front right there. So these things can hold like, I don't know, what is it, like 80, 100? I got to look, but it's a lot of bullets that they can hold, and they're meant to shoot and keep shooting.
And are those bullets for human bodies or armored vehicles? Like, what are those bullets meant for?
I mean, yes, these are meant to shoot human beings. Yeah. But these are military machine guns, and these would never ever be used by any other country on its own citizens. They should never be used.
Can you send me that? Thank you, by the way.
Similarly, another weapon that the Islamic Republic of Iran has used on January 8th and 9th is the SVD marksman rifle, which is semi-automatic rifle, also known as, you can call it a sniper. This is the weapon that people would go on the rooftops, the IRGC would go on the rooftops, and they would shoot people, as Trump quoted, through the forehead. So this is undeniable proof. And when the regime falls, this is also undeniable proof that I would like to see people deny. I want to see how they would possibly deny this.
So wait, okay, tell us again, what is this weapon used for? Like, what is this helpful? Like, what do they do this for?
This is another Soviet era weapon. It's a Dragunov, which is a semi-automatic, meaning that it's not, you can't just like hold down the trigger and it fires. You have to keep pulling the trigger. And you see that big scope. So it goes up. I mean, this looks like a eight times magnification, or 12 possibly. But it's meant for people to go on top of mosques, go on top of rooftops, and precisely target someone. And keep in mind, guys, if you didn't think that these people were inhuman enough, the snipers who shot people, a lot of them would abuse drugs like meth or opioids, and then they would target people, children, women, and shoot them right in between the eyes. They see that in their scope, and they go ahead and pull the trigger. This is what it's designed for.
I have a question. Can this be used to fight by pro-regime Iranians to fight Israel or Americans? Or does that have that utility? Or because I think this proves, like, this is what I want people to understand, that this is not for the Americans. This is not for the Israelis. Training the pro-regime Iranians to use these has no benefit in fighting American fighter jets, Israeli fighter jets, drones, American missiles. The type of war that we're in right now means that this training is only meant for the Iranian people. Do you agree with this, Ellie?
Absolutely. If you were trying to organize a force to counter the Americans, which I have another point I'll reach to, or the Israelis, if you were scared of a ground invasion, you would have the military come in and not regular citizens. And that's just, you can't even argue with that.
But even the military cannot do shit with this against, like in this war, right? Like this type of weapons will only serve the Islamic Republic right now when it comes to suppressing an uprising.
As we learned in Iraq, if you do set up sniper positions, you have to shoot and move. Otherwise, you will be taken out by the enemy. The Iranian people do not have sniper rifles and weapons of their own, so these snipers can afford to just stay in the same position and target Iranians at will. So, by the way, I mean, I wanted to say this as well. The Islamic Republic, from the very get-go, decades ago, knew that when they were to inevitably face the United States of America in open conflict, that they would never have superior forces, that they would always be weaker on an open field against the United States. And their strategy from the get-go was asymmetric warfare. What does that mean? Proxies, drones, fast attack boats, things that make it difficult to fight a conventional war, but, you know, otherwise it makes it really hard for you to lose one as well.
President Trump just posted about Iran just 30 minutes ago.
What did he say?
He said nothing. He just posted a picture. You want to see?
Yeah.
What? Just 30 minutes ago.
So the current news we have, so the current news we have in the skies of the Middle East. Let me give you a quick recap of that. There are currently Israeli jets over Syria, Iraq. US warplanes are also over Iraq. There is several planes patrolling in the Persian Gulf off the coast of Pakistan. And Saudi Arabia apparently today also intercepted drones that may have come from Iraq. And generally, people are thinking that at any moment, hostilities could kick off. So I'm glancing over at my second screen every 5 seconds to see what is happening.
What does this mean, though? What does this mean?
This means everyone's on board. So they've been building a coalition, and that a lot of the Persian Gulf Arab states should be on board this time, particularly the United Arab Emirates and Saudi, which have been two of the loudest oppositions to the Islamic Republic, so they should definitely be joining in. Now let's see if anyone else does as well.
Oh my God, look at this. Guys in the chat, who thinks an attack? Like, so Ali, when do you think they will attack? When do you think? What's your new guess?
So throughout the strikes, I monitored and would plot the times at which strikes would start. And from February 28th to about a month and a half later, in the beginning, they would only strike at around 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning, Tehran time. Later on during the war, when they destroyed more air defenses, they would start as early as midnight. So it could be anywhere in between then, or it could be what we saw on February 28th, which was 9 a.m. in the morning. So who knows? We just know that it's going to happen.
It's in 3 days. Somebody's saying it's in
3 days. Okay, Roman Viking.
And Michael is saying Monday night.
It's tomorrow, okay?
Guys, put your guesses in the chat. In the coming days. Finally, tomorrow. So next week's, this is it. Okay, next week's Saturday. Somebody else is saying Monday. Poll, you want to poll? Monday, fun day, baby. In the next 24 hours. Should I do a poll? Maybe I should do a poll.
Yeah, let's do a poll. And then while you do that, before you do that, listen to this real quick. People in Iran are saying that they heard in the program that was showing the sniper and the machine gun training that tomorrow or soon there will be training on man pads. That's what they said.
Wait, can you send that to me as well?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But there's no video for it. They're just saying that they heard that will be also happening.
Okay, so what are the options for President Trump? Within the next 24 hours? Within the next 2 days? Within the next week? And after a week? No, here. Longer than 1 week. Is that the good? Those are the options. I only have 4 options, so let me go with that. Okay. So when is Trump going to attack the Islamic regime? Okay, those are the options. So these are the options that I came up with. You guys, if you want to vote in the chat, put 1 in the chat for within the next 24 hours. Yeah. Put 2 in the chat for within the next 2 days. Put 3 in the chat for within the next week. And put 4 in the chat for longer than 1 week. What?
Let
How
me
do
give
you,
you-
Ali? How do you?
I'll give you guys another piece of information that came out exactly 30 minutes ago. So hold your votes for 1 second. 4 United States Air Force and Royal Air Force tankers over the Middle East just turned off their transponders.
Oh,
Now let's see
yeah,
what people
okay.
think.
Longer than 1 week. So, okay, we're seeing. I mean, you're saying now you're telling me? Wow, it's actually pretty spread out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
What?
we just had a sighting of Ghalibaf
Where? China?
in Iran. Here, I'll pull that up right after this.
Okay,
Maddie,
yeah.
what
I'll
happened?
just-
Can you do a recap? What exactly do you want to recap? Oh, you mean like of today's stream? We just think that the strikes are about to happen at any second. Everything's ready. Everything military-wise is ready. They just have to get the green light. Israel has to get the green light from Washington, and then everything's going to kick off again. The UAE and Saudi have already intercepted drones. They've been defending themselves. A lot of planes are in the sky, and the regime is desperately trying to arm their supporters with machine guns, sniper rifles, and any weapon they can. Also, apparently, man pads are next, which are shoulder-mounted anti-air missiles. So, I don't know. Are they going to give those to children too?
So somebody was asking, where can I vote? In the chat, if you write 1, if you put 1 in the chat, you're voting for President Trump attacking the Islamic Republic within the, you're saying he's going to attack within 24 hours. If you put 2 in the chat, it will count your votes. Just put 1, 2. If you put 2, it says it will be within the next 2 days. If you put 3 in the chat, it will count a vote for within the next week. And if you put 4, you're thinking that it's going to take longer than a week, or maybe not at all. If you think they're not going to attack at all, you could put 4 as well. So I think that's good. I think I think we have enough votes, right? So the results are 44% think President Trump is going to attack the Islamic Republic within the next 24. Oh, it got 46. 46% think he's going to attack the Islamic Republic within the next 24 hours. 28% think within the next 2 days. 21% think within the next week. And then 7% think longer than 1 week.
I would think that within the next week is probably the most likely one if you want a safe answer. But for whoever voted for within the next 24 hours, if you're right, I want you to come back here and say that you were right.
Yeah. It's okay to be wrong as well. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I predicted 20 days ago that it would happen this weekend, like at the latest, by like this Friday. So we already missed my prediction.
Somebody voted 5. I don't know why. Yeah, Matthew voted 5. I don't know what that means, but okay, thank you. Okay. All right. Okay. So what's the next update?
So the next update, let's actually show Ghalibaf in a bit because we actually can tie into someone who's very much on our list. very much on the top of our list for boom booms, Mr. Rodon has come up with a statement, and we're going to get his input on just how many spies.
So Radan, for people who don't know, you should give people context, right? Because people don't
You're
know.
right.
Yeah. Radan is the head of the Faraja, the head of police, and it's actually insulting to call it the police because he's basically the specific organization that he works for. He's the head of is basically responsible for suppressing the Iranian people. So he's the main guy in charge of suppressing. So when you think of suppressing the Iranian people if they're protesting, this is the main guy. He's in charge of that. Yes.
We want him gone immediately.
Yes. Exactly.
در حوزه وطن فروشا و جواسیس تا به الان از آغاز جنگ بالغ بر 6500 نفر از وطن فروشا و جواسیس دستگیر شدند که 567 تا از اونها کیس‌های ویژه مرتبط با نفاق و اشرار به اصطلاح گروهک‌های ضد انقلاب بودند و این همچنان ادامه داره. ما در حوزه اغتشاشگران دیماه که سربازان وطن فروش دشمن هم بودن رهاشون نکردیم و همچنان داریم دستگیر میکنیم.
Okay.
You want to translate?
Yeah, sure. So he's saying that we have arrested 6,500 traitors, spies, and soldiers of the enemy, of which 500 and some of them were, what did he say, were spies or something?
Play it again. So guys, when he says soldiers of the enemy, he's just basically means ordinary Iranian people who are anti-regime. That's what he means.
الان از آغاز جنگ بالغ بر 6500 نفر از وطن فروشا و جواسیس دستگیر شدند که 567 تا از اونها کیس‌های ویژه مرتبط
کیس‌های ویژه.
So special cases. So he says they arrested 6,500 people of Iranian people who he's calling traitors, means basically they're anti-regime. And he says like around how many of them? 500 of them?
500 something of them are special cases. What does that even mean?
So he's going to explain.
با نفاق و اشرارا به اصطلاح گروهک‌های ضد انقلاب بودن و این همچنان ادامه داره. ما در حوزه
So he says 500 of them were connected to evil anti-Islamic revolution groups, right? So that means 6,000 of them were not even connected to any group. They were just like, so basically, so for example, 500 of them were somebody that, I don't know, from Iran was part of, my Discord group, right? That would mean that they're part of a special case, right? Because they're connected with groups that are anti-Islamic or anti-regime.
Nina said, Vatan Furush. I wouldn't even give him the satisfaction of putting Vatan in the insult. Vatan means like compatriot. Homeland. And like Vatan Furush means traitor, basically. I wouldn't even say that.
This guy, guys, he's one of the most I think the number one most hated man in Iran right now is Ejei, then number 2 is Salavati, number 3 is him. This is the third most hated man in Iran. Am I missing anybody right now for the top contenders?
I mean, I put Mujtaba at 4 then, maybe.
I wouldn't say Mujtaba is too missing in action because he doesn't have, like, we want him dead for sure, and we hate him obviously, but he hasn't been, we don't have a history, like he has always been behind the scenes, so we haven't been hear him say and all the things that gets on our nerves. So I wouldn't. I would say Mushtaba is like irrelevant, just somebody that we hope dies soon. But like when it comes to Ejei, he's been front and center ordering the executions of many Iranian people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the same thing with Salavati, and this guy has always been on camera, on TV, um, you know, talking about suppressing the Iranian people.
Yeah, what would you put Marandi at?
Marandi is more known by non-Iranians than Iranians because he's mostly speaking in English for foreign media. So he's not as famous inside Iran as he is outside of Iran. So he's a propagandist for the Islamic Republic for foreign media.
Yes.
Wait, we got two. Let me respond to the super chats. We got 2 super chats, guys. We're trying to reach 10 super chats per live stream. So thank you to the 2 people who started it. Lior being the first one, getting us started with a super chat saying, Armin, what's in your fruit tea? No vodka today? No vodka ever. I drink alcohol once every year at most. Okay. This new year, I didn't drink alcohol. So that means I'm not going to be drinking alcohol for 2 years. Okay. And this is strawberry and kiwi tea. Strawberry and kiwi. And thank you so much for the super chat. And guys, I promise I'm not a secret Muslim where people think there's some Islam in me for not drinking alcohol. It's not at all. I'm a health freak. That's why I don't drink alcohol. And I eat pork all the time. Okay. And thank you, Lior. And Vahshi, our second super chat of the day, getting us to 2 out of 10, saying, guys, have you seen Iran International report on the attack on Khamenei's Beit and the spy who convinced them it's safe to hold the meeting? I have that video in case you guys want to talk about it. Yes, I've seen that. Have you seen that, Ali?
I have not seen it, actually. I think we should watch it.
Okay, let's go through your updates and then, so that's the guy. Ooh, guys, we're going to have some internal drama on the Beit Rahbari in Khamenei's own home. So just stay tuned for that. So thank you, Vashi. Okay, go on.
I have something interesting for you. This guy right here, who's about to speak, is the deputy parliament speaker. So he's Ghalibaf's right-hand man, Haji Babai. And he has been lately saying some very pro, like Vahidi and Paidar camp stuff. So we'll take a look at this.
Vahidi or Paidari.
ما آسیب برسد ما کاری میکنیم که دیگه آمریکا حداقل تا یه مدت قابل توجهی از این منطقه نفتی گیرش نیاد. یعنی دنیا نفت.
Sure.
یعنی دنیا چی؟ برو جلو.
متوجه شدم
نفتی گیرش نیاد. یعنی دنیا نفتی گیرش نیاد.
متوجه شدم متشکرم یه
Sure, buddy.
Oh my god, he's so oh my god, it's so retarded.
If America touches us, we will make it so that they have no access to oil. And not only them, the whole world won't have access to oil again.
From our area. So first of all, you goddamn idiot, United States is a net oil exporter. United States does not import oil. United States exports. It exports oil. Other people buy oil from United States. And United States has more oil than it could use. What the fuck are you on about? They don't need Middle Eastern oil. Other countries need Middle Eastern oil. So he doesn't even get that.
No one told him.
No one told him.
Yeah, that was.
And also then he I think maybe he realized his mistake and he said and also not the rest of you're going to stop the entire world from getting oil from the Middle East? You're going to stand up against Europe, China, South Korea, Japan, United States. So there's going to be all of this oil and gas in the Middle East, and the whole world would not be able to touch it? Okay, buddy. Sure. I mean, you know what? I wish that, Ali, I wish they could do that. I'm not kidding. I genuinely wish they could do that. Because if the Islamic Republic could actually stop the whole world from getting oil out of the Middle East, they would last they would unite the entire planet to come and do regime change in Iran.
Yeah. I mean, no one told him, so he went on TV and he made a fool out of himself.
I mean, actually, no. You know what? Actually, these people are not as stupid as you think they are. Okay, they just know their audience. Okay, these people actually are smarter than most people think. They just are aware. It's not a lack of intelligence or lack of information that is his problem. It's actually the awareness of how retarded their fans are. And they just need to give them these, what we call Rajaz Khani, acting all alpha and tough. That has a lot of, there's a lot of demand for it by pro-regime people, and he's just basically giving them what they want.
Yeah, and maybe not this guy in particular, guys, but people above him definitely told him what to say, because they know their audience very well, as Armin's saying. So yeah,
okay, look at this. This is Sarah just gave us a super chat, our third super chat. We're getting close to 10 soon. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah saying, I felt so alone in my grief after the massacre. Oh, look at this. Sarah saying, I felt so alone in my grief after the massacre till I found you guys. Oh, Sarah, you, Goldie, and Ali means so much to all of us. Booses back at you, Sarah. That is so sweet. I'm so glad that we could be there for you. And thank you for being here for us.
Thank you very much. This is what we do. We come to make you guys feel better by telling you what's going on and by telling you what that means for our future and the future of Iran. Yeah. And it just happens so that whatever the regime does or doesn't do is to their, it's to their detriment. Whatever they do, they're going to lose. And so we are able to report to you guys and give you analysis that everything is going well, and everything that especially Goldie and Armin were saying up till February 28th was true. And you guys should keep your faith. Everything they've said is true. They know what they're doing. And here we are, yet again, on the cusp of another event. So we saw the deputy speaker of the parliament, but where is the speaker of parliament? Where is Mr. Ghalibaf? No one's heard of him or seen him in person for a long time. That is until today, where he has met with the Interior Minister of Pakistan, who showed up unannounced to Tehran. Here he is. He looks a little, I don't know. Maybe he's been kept under house arrest for a while. Who can really say?
He's not in the bunker.
Not yet, yeah.
Feeling comfortable, feeling confident. Did he get some reassurance from the Americans that nothing's going to happen? To him, at least?
Well, the Interior Minister was hoping to meet with the Supreme Leader, and he was denied that. So then he spoke to Pezeshkian, which is the next best thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, keep dreaming. Mujtaba's own family can't meet with him.
Yeah, Mujtaba's own father-in-law doesn't know where he is.
I don't think even his immediate family know where he is, I think.
I mean, his family's dead. And his wife and kids, right?
Every single one of his immediate family is dead?
I think most of them are.
Good.
which is why people were saying it's the perfect supervillain story.
Yeah.
It's like you wake up,
Yeah. You wake up, your face is all like you don't have legs, your
you're
entire
missing a
family
leg.
is there.
Yeah, you're
That
disfigured. You're
is
missing an
actually
eye.
the best story for a super villain.
You're like,
Yeah.
where's my dad? Where's my wife and kids?
Where's my
Sorry, sir,
mom?
they're
Mom
gone.
dead, mom dead, kids dead, wife dead, father dead, mother dead, legs missing,
Oh, the karma.
dick still not working, face is all mangled.
Yeah.
By the way, we forgot to
Speaking
read
of,
this one.
oh yeah,
Wait.
will you say that first?
Flesh. Yeah. Oh, we got it too. Fleshy interloper saying practice super chat. It was well, it's working. Thank you for checking that out. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh my god, we got all the way to 6. Thank you, Fleshy interloper. Great username, by the way. Always love that one. And then we got another super chat by Uncle something, Uncle DS, saying, "Bro, you should have a drink or two every day. After all, to be good at something takes practice." Okay, I do have drinks. I have many drinks, tea and water, and Coke Zero. I drink all the time, just not alcohol. But thank you. Appreciate the super chat. And guys, it's not again, I promise you it's not for religious reasons. If it was for religious reasons, why do I drink once a year? Oh, Ali is suspicious. Damn. Okay. Okay.
So let me
Okay.
get this straight. So you have an IRGC police card, but you
Oh.
swear you've never served a single day. And you don't drink.
Okay.
You know a
Ali.
lot about Islam. You
That's how
know
it
you
is.
know a lot about Islam, actually.
Oh, okay now. Okay. Shh. Okay. Damn. Okay, being called out by my own co-host. Ouch. Okay. Okay. All right. Arian, thank you for the super chat saying my cousin's friend Mariam was shot in the neck by IRGs. Oh my god. What the fuck? My cousin's friend Mariam was shot in the neck by IRGC in January. Did she? I don't even want to ask. I want to keep supporting Persians and my family. Thank you both and Javicha. Thank you and Javicha. Back to you. I don't even want to know what. I don't even want to. I'm scared to ask about Mariam.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. God damn.
We're sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. People are asking, did she survive? Yeah. Oh no.
Sad, yeah.
She passed away, unfortunately.
Rest
I'm
in
so
peace.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Damn, man. So many there, like I don't know a single person in Iran that doesn't know somebody close to them that died. Yeah. So sorry.
Yeah.
Gavicha.
This is why we're doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait. Someone's saying Ali, the practicing but nice Muslim, is calling out Arman, the ex-Muslim. I am not a Muslim, nor am I a practicing or nice Muslim. I don't know. Not at all. Not at all, Deborah. I gotta clear that up. Maybe you have some people in the reversing the how the turntables, huh?
Yes, how the turntables. I mean, you are named after the first Shia Imam. So there we go. Okay. Hey, you're calling me a Muslim. My name is ancient Persian. Your name is the first Imam of Shia Muslim. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Dang it, I should have added a middle name. You know, I think when you turn 18, you can add a middle name, and I should have done it. But, you know, I mean, hey, guys. Few bad apples, am I right, guys? A lot of bad apples, maybe?
You know, actually, not to be serious. To be serious though, like the um, non-Muslim Iranians with Islamic names are actually some of the best when it comes to. I don't think like it didn't. Like I think like some people go change their name to something, very Persian after they leave Islam. But I think it's actually, I think Iranians with Islamic names that are not Muslim is actually a huge indication of how much Iran has changed within one generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so many of the younger generation, like 18 and under, have pure Persian names.
Yeah.
Oh, this comment by Lior said, Ali looks like a Jeremy. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But, Armin, I was telling someone that I stream with you, and they're
Ooh.
like, that guy? Is he Iranian? I was like, yes. They're like, are you
What?
sure? He looks white. And I was like, no, he's Iranian. He was born in Iran. And I was like, and I got reminded. Look at Armin's face, guys. And then I got reminded by the comment that Armin's made where he's like, sometimes people have told me once that they can attack me because I'm white passing. I got reminded
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. I was arguing with this very progressive left woke girls in my university, and they were getting really annoyed with me for being Middle Eastern, but not agreeing with their anti-white racism. And for after a while, I went to the same class and stuff with them. After a while, they in the group discussion and stuff that we were having, they said, because they couldn't attack me, okay, because it went against their ideology to attack me back then. This was way back then, because they thought like I'm Middle Eastern and it would be racist to call me out and stuff like that. So one of them at some point said, guys, Armin is white passing, so have at him. Like, you could basically treat him exactly as badly as you would treat a white man. And people are like, oh yeah, you're right, he's white passing, so let's let's just tell him that he's full of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at
Some
this. We got
super
a
chats.
super chat. Oh, God, we got another super chat from Sarah. Is always supporting us, saying my 60-year-old uncle was also shot twice. Oh my God, you guys! Holy shit! Also shot twice in January. Let me actually screenshot these messages you guys are sending. Let me go back to the other one as well and screenshot that as well. Okay, so Sarah is saying my 60-year-old uncle was also shot twice in January. He died. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. He was caring for his grandchild. We all have so much trauma. Can you say his name? No one has ever mentioned him.
Yes,
Hamid.
we can say his name.
Hamid
فرزند
Shakar.
ایران و جان فدای میهن. جاویدنام حمید شکارنیا. مرد 60 ساله کشته شد در تهران در نارمک.
That was beautiful, Ali. You did it so well.
Thanks.
That was so beautiful, Ali. Hamid Shakarnia, he died in Tehran, Narmak area. No one has said his name. We said it right here. That was really beautifully said, Ali. I'm so glad that you've thought about saying it in that way.
Yeah, the way that Murad Vaisi says it.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that with us.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, I changed my answer, I think, within 2 hours. It's got to happen within 2 hours. I can't wait any longer.
Look at this. Vahshi is also saying that فرزند ایران و جانفدای میهن جاویدنام حمید چکارنیا. The son of Iran, devoted to the homeland and forever remembered Hamid Shakarnia. The son of Iran. That's a very good translation, Vashi. The son of Iran, devoted to the homeland and forever remembered Hamid Chakarnia. Thank you, Vashi, for writing the English version of that as well.
Yeah. Sarah, look.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And Sarah is saying thank you. I'm sorry to be a Danner. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. I'm so grateful that you shared that with us. Saying you're the first to say it. I appreciate you very emotional. We will never forget his name. We will never forget his name. And we should get this to Murad Vaisi as well somehow. So that he could say it.
Murad Vaisi has a segment in his streams where all he does is just read the names of the Jobidnoms. We'd like him to say it too. Yeah, we'll figure out a way to send it to him.
No, Sarah saying, oh my God, you guys are making me cry. Thank you all. No, thank you. Like people in the chat are saying his name. Oh, look at this. Uncle is also saying Hamid Chakarnia, peace be with you. Hamid.
Yeah. Thank you, Uncle. You know why we get so emotional when we read the name of just one of these Jobidams? Someone who we don't personally know. The reason is that could have been any one of us. If we were born there and we were raised there and we had stayed there at that time, that would have been any one of us. We all would have done it. We all would have been there.
Imagine if your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, your father, your mother went out into the streets to fight for Iran, risking their lives to free Iran, to free the nation, and they were shot and killed by the regime, basically making the greatest sacrifice for liberating one's country. And then on top of that, you're hearing so many of these names of people, other people who sacrificed their lives being mentioned, and your loved ones' names is not being mentioned. So you're feeling that what if I'm losing them twice? I lost them and they went there and they sacrificed themselves to liberate our country. And nobody even knows him. Nobody even knows what he did. Nobody even appreciates the greatest sacrifice that this man or woman did. And he's going to die twice. Once when they shot him or her, and the second time when people forgot about her. Like they don't even know what this person did for the country. And think about it, like the names that are being mentioned, like the names that have been read out loud, we have gotten, I think, to 2,000 or something, right? But the number of people who've been killed are more than 42,000. So many of these people, we haven't even heard their names. And imagine being a family member of these people and thinking that nobody even knows that my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my daughter, my son did this. So that's why we have to say their name. Hamid Chakarnia.
Thank you, everyone in the chat who's also echoing this.
Mm.
We appreciate all of you. Everyone, all Iranians appreciate all of you.
Sarah, I promise you, once Iran is free, he will be remembered. There will be, his names will be written along, then next to all of the heroes, all the other heroes. Okay, they're going to be memorials and monuments. And for just like we have Holocaust museums all around the world right now, we will have the same thing for him and everyone else who sacrificed their life.
Yeah. There should be a website, and then there should be monuments in every city.
Yeah, that's why Javid is saying this. This is why it's so important that we will have monuments everywhere in the country with the names written there in gold. Yep. We will have that. Okay.
You know,
What else did?
since we were speaking of the Khamenei family earlier and how they are getting what's coming to them finally, we have Said Ghassanejad, who said something interesting as well. So we've been thinking that Mojtaba is either dead or in a coma or so horribly medically disfigured and just, out of commission that he can't do anything, not even speak. And Said Ghassanejad, who is one of the closest people to Prince Reza Pahlavi, one of his closest advisors, has said that I assume the regime would use the ceasefire to bury Khamenei, but they didn't. Why? The most likely reason for the delay is that Khamenei Jr., Mojtaba, is unable to attend, which is right. What kind of a burial would that be for their own supporters if the son, Mojtaba, can't attend the funeral? And why the absence of Mojtaba? Either he doesn't exist anymore, is physically incapacitated, or is terrified of being tracked and targeted. It's probably most likely physically incapacitated. Whatever the case, failing to bury their supreme leader during a ceasefire is a massive embarrassment. The regime is significantly weaker than what the mainstream media portray. I agree.
Nina thinks he's dead in the chat. Nina in the chat. Good point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, it was a good point. I still don't understand if he's alive and can speak. Why not just release a goddamn audio message? Like, that's what I don't get. Let's say you tell me, Ali. Let's say he missed, like, both of his legs gone. Let's say his face all fucked up. Okay. Why not put at least an audio message of him out there?
So, working in the medical field, I've seen a lot of people who cannot speak. They are so medically incapacitated that it's difficult or they're unable to speak. So if this guy can speak, if Mojtaba can even speak, he's probably going to be doing so in ragged breaths and probably can't finish a sentence at a time without having to struggle. And that wouldn't serve them any good purpose. So I think they would just rather not have any statements. Either that or he's dead.
If a person is in the situation where they can't speak, do you think they will ever, would they be able to come back to a situation where they can?
It highly depends on what the cause is. Highly depends. It's possible, but okay, so when I heard about his injuries, personally, I'm thinking he's probably just going to succumb to his injuries and die from them because they're severely horrific. So, but who can tell? I mean, there's a lot of doctors there. He's probably getting the best treatment. It's hard to say.
Okay, so Nina's saying they're not even doing an AI audio on his behalf. Okay, so the thing is, Nina, that would be easily identifiable as AI. Even guys, so here's the thing. Even if AI gets really good at getting so close to the real thing that no naked eye or ear could tell that this is AI, we have AI tools that they could tell you that this is AI. Like we will always be able to tell that something is AI forever. Like no, Armin, AI. Here's the thing: if somebody says like no, Armin, you don't understand, AI will one day become so advanced that we will not be able to tell the difference. Okay, if AI gets that advanced, then AI would also get advanced enough to be able to tell us the difference. We could use AI to separate them. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We will never have this problem. Like people say, like, yeah, today we could tell the difference, but one day we can't. I believe we will never have this problem. We will always be able to tell what is AI because as AI gets more advanced, AI tools will also get more advanced that we could use to separate them. Yeah.
Agreed. Which is actually the argument that I'm most afraid of. That's the counterpoint. So, what's to stop some terrorist in a basement in some random country around the world from building like a virus that can, get rid of everyone in the world? Well, our AI would predict that AI would want to do it, and we'd stop it. We'd put in measures to stop things like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm going to give a quick update on the skies of the Middle East. And I'm going to show you guys what they look like.
Wait, we got one super chat.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
You bring it up while I read the super chat. Sunlad is saying, oh, in the honor of Hamid Chekarnia, I wonder what that means. In the honor of Hamid Chekarnia, what a beautiful last name, by the way. Just wanted to say we are thousands to follow, millions to support Iran and Iranians. Javid Shah, Payande Iran. Thank you so much, Sunland, for that message. And actually, that reminds me of the chant Iranians usually, one of the most popular chants in Iranian protests, in the uprisings in the streets of Iran, is this one. Har ye nafar kushte she, hezar nafar poshte she. Which means for every single person that dies, for every single person that the Islamic Republic kills, there's 1,000 more behind him. So
yes,
that what you say just follows exactly one of the most famous chants among Iranians. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
All right, so why is it giving me a tutorial? Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Basically, the skies of mostly Syria, Iraq, and Iran are clear. There are no flights overhead, which is usually a sign that things are happening. And this is as of the last hour. So this is what it looks like right now. Just want to give a quick update.
But we have to be careful with that because many times that has happened and then it didn't end up necessarily. So this is a high, like it increases the possibility, but it's not a guaranteed indicator, but it does increase the possibility a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not enough on its own. You know, there's a group that we haven't heard of from a while. A very pesky group that has about 10 members. Do you have any guesses?
Wait, what? Oh.
The MEK.
Oh, okay.
What happened? They did something. A group of Iranian opposition activists, which is, don't call them that, So basically, the MEK and some Kurdish separatist supporters gathered outside the United States Congress to protest executions carried out by the Islamic regime. That's very interesting. They're wearing
Yeah, I
the
mean,
yellow, the banana.
yeah,
But
I
that's
mean, they always do this. They always try to pretend that they are the
yeah.
on the side of human rights and stuff. But that Kurdish flag is a terrorist flag. I mean, it's not a Kurdish flag, to be honest. It's a separatist terrorist flag, and the vast majority of Iranian Kurds do not agree with it. So let me actually. And the fact that the MEK is doing this with them shows that they're anti-Iranian, because they're doing this with people who are anti-Iran. The Kurdish separatist groups are anti-Iranian. You know, let me actually, now that you showed that, I have something that I saw recently today, which I want to highlight. If I could find it. Oh, I found it. That was fast. So, by the way, Ali, good job in fixing everything that you were reading. I noticed when you were reading, it said a group of Iranian opposition activists, so you removed the activist part,
Yeah.
and it says MEK and some Kurdish, but you didn't say Kurdish because, you know, these people are an insult to every Iranian Kurd. There you said separatists. Good job. It said gathered outside of the U.S. Congress to protest execution carried out by the Iranian regime, but you said the Islamic regime. You were that was really good. You were changing the words and correcting it as you went through, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, we know who's with us and who's not.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Good job. Okay, oh, my dog is knocking. Let me bring my dog while you read this.
Okay. So this is a post that Armin's brought up, similar to the MEK and the Kurdish separatists. It says, "We Kurds, we're Iranian. We Kurds are Iranian. We Kurds will always be Iranian. We are one of the most original Iranian ethnic groups. If we Kurds are not Iranian, then who's Iranian?" This definitely sounds like a phrase that sounds much better in Farsi, but you guys get the idea that the Kurds, we Iranians view them as us, like they are on our side. A small, very, very small percentage of them are separatists. And these Kurdish separatists are, just think of them as like communists. Okay, there's like communist fighter groups, and no one likes them. No one in Iran wants them. Just think about it. If they did want them, they would have been something by now. In fact, the only time we've been hearing about them is during this conflict, which they got a bit of relevancy in.
Oh. Like.
So cute. It's a boy or girl?
Girl.
How old is
My
she?
baby girl. 2.
2? Yeah, I think my cat's like 5 now, actually. I don't know where he is.
Oh, wow. She loves
Aw.
it. She comes, knocks the door when she wants me to pet her. She goes to the door, she knocks.
Well, she's so well behaved. Maybe she can stay.
Yeah. Okay, you can stay. Okay. We'll just have her as the third co-host. So you're in charge, Ali. Then.
Okay, let me show you something. When we see this, you might get a little loud. So she might get a little scared, but let's see.
It's okay. I'll control myself.
All right, so guys, we got another clip coming out of the sniper rifle fiasco that they're trying to teach. And I want you guys to take a look at what he's shooting at. Can anyone tell me what he's shooting at?
Oh my God.
انشالله که این تیرها به هدف بشینه. انشالله. مربی خیلی متشکرم.
What the hell?
That is at the heart and heads of, well, in this case, President Donald Trump and his Secret Service. But wow,
You see that? Do you see that?
do you see the implication of this? The heart and the head, which is where they were shooting the Iranian civilians, the Iranian people, the most. And they're trying to pass it off as, oh, we're only trying to hit the US forces.
Can we clarify to YouTube? Can we clarify to YouTube that this is against, like, we do not condone this. This is bad. We're just reporting the news, and this is on state TV, and that we don't agree with any of this. So just to be careful so that we don't get stricken off of YouTube.
Yeah, we do not. We are actually shocked and outraged, which is true. We are.
Guns are banned. Okay. By the way, can you hear me? I'm so far away from my microphone.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, what was that sound? Like, that was like, did it? No, I'm not talking. It's okay. You're okay.
This time, this guy likes shooting in the studio so much that there was no bullet in the chamber.
There was no bullets. Okay. And then what did he say? So he read the Quran. She's wondering why I'm talking. So he read the Quranic verse before shooting, and then after he shot, he said, "I hope one day one of these bullets really hit the target." Yes.
Yeah. Wait, let me see what he said. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what that means. And he's also whispering it.
Yeah, it's a Quranic verse. And then after he shoots, let's see what he says. Do you want to go?
انشالله که این تیرها به هدف بشینه.
انشالله.
مربی
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah, so afraid with the mask. Omid is saying, in your dreams, Abdul.
Yeah, afterwards he said, may the bullets hit the target.
Yeah. Show your face, coward. Exactly. Look, guys, the only reason why he's wearing sunglasses inside the studio and a mask is because he's afraid of being identified by the Iranian people. Yeah.
Lior had a super chat. So true.
Oh. Thank you. You know, I tell her that. Nella is so lucky to have you as her dad. You know, sometimes I tell her that. Sometimes I'm petting her. I'm like, you have no idea how lucky you are. And she's looking at me. I'm like, I wish I could. I wish you could. Well, thank you, Leo. Oh, no, not Lior. Leo. Yes. Poochie is sleeping. If you were asking me where Poochie is sleeping. But yeah. Nella is here's a problem. Okay. Nella has found my weakness. She has figured out that if she wants to be petted, I am incapable of not petting her. And she takes so much advantage of that. Like, I'm walking and she comes, like, drops in front of me and shows me her belly. And she knows that I have to just basically, I can't just move past that. Like, I have to basically put everything aside. Like, I'm in a rush. I'm like, Nala, not now. And she's like, nope, too late. Belly, I'm showing you my belly. And I have to give her a belly rub. So she has trained me. She has conditioned me. She has brainwashed me in this. She, like, other people train their dogs. My dog trains me. And she has now made it so that every time I'm doing everything, I have to basically, in the middle of anything, I have to drop everything to just pet her. And everybody else in my family tell them, like, you could just walk away. Like, no, I actually can't. Like, I literally can't. And so hours and hours of petting. Like, you can see I'm holding my phone trying to listen to something, and then I'm petting her, and then I'm moving things around, and then because as soon as I move my hand back, she looks like me, like I owe her something or something. Like, I'm petting her, and I'm just trying to, like, speed up the video or play the next video on my phone so I could follow up with the news and everything. And I just take my hands for 1 second, and she looks at me like, what the fuck did you just do? Like, we're not done here. Like, she looks at me like I owe her money. Like, so good. Like, okay. It was half a second. I was just playing the next video. Anyways, so that's my life. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay, let me see.
My
Wait,
cat is
more
the most
super-
talkative cat I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Okay. Really?
Actually, let me see if I can get him. Come here. Come on.
Yeah, Armin is a very well trained puppy. Yes, I am. But yay! Hi,
Hey, Zuko.
Suko. Oh, it's purring. Purring is purring. Oh my god. And Ali, you said you're allergic to cats, right?
Yeah, I am.
That's real love. Love
Yeah,
hurts.
especially like when I wake up, as soon as cats know that that your breathing is slightly different, they know you've woken up, and they'll come right next to your face and they'll stare at you like this to see if you're gonna wake up or not to give them food.
Oh.
And I wake up,
Okay.
and sometimes I don't remember that I woke up and gave them food, and I wake up a couple hours later and I'm like, why is my nose all congested? Like, why am I like red in the face? Like, what's going on?
Wait, somebody's saying poor pup. Like, why? Are you talking about me or Nala? Okay. Okay, so I give her endless petting. Okay. Yeah, but so guys, Ali, are you gonna be like nose running in a few seconds now? Or
Yeah, in
no?
a couple minutes probably. I'll try to keep my
Couple
hands
minutes.
away from my face.
Wow, that is dedication. That
Yeah.
even though you are allergic to cats, you still have a cat. That's cute. That's love. That's pure love right there.
Yeah, I'm also allergic to grass.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I played soccer my entire life, and every time I fall and like hit the grass and it like rubs into my skin, I'm itching the rest of the game. But that's about it. That's all it does. It's just itching, and yeah.
Okay. So wait, we got so many super chats. Let me just go through them very fast. Wyatt is saying, can we all say number 10? Yes, Wyatt, you were number 10. Thank you for getting us there. I appreciate that. Thank you. 10. Okay. And then we had Elad. Oh, hi, Elad, saying, as always, my shelter is ready. Let's go. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. You guys talking in Israel, talking about shelter being ready and getting ready for being so eager to fight against the Islamic Republic. We will never forget this. Promise, we will never forget this. And then 2032 Sherry saying, Armin, my boy looks so much like your pup. Really? Okay. You're so hairy then. No? Okay. We'll say hi. And thank you, Sherry, for the super chat. And then we have Nima. Nima saying boom boom by next week. Your thoughts? Well, Nima, we had a poll. People voted here. Here's the results. So we asked, when is Trump going to attack the Islamic regime? 46% of the people here voted within the next 24 hours. 27% within the next 2 days. 20% voted within the next week. 7% voted longer than 1 week. So,
speaking of the strikes, Mr. Donald Trump came up with a post.
Oh, wow, another post.
Where he's apparently blowing everything up, including his own command center in space.
Okay, Space Force. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Unbelievable. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Space
probably
Force.
better this way. I wonder what Space Force is going to do this time. What's going to happen? We're about to see some tech that we've never seen before.
President Trump. Oh my god. Post. Yeah, he posts so many. He loves these AI memes.
Yeah.
He loves them. Oh my god.
Honestly, I would too. Like he just post whatever he wants. I mean, yeah. People are gonna hate him regardless.
Yeah, why not? Let's go with it. Hey guys, is the Telegraph, by the way, a good source of information? I'm genuinely asking.
Is that the United Kingdom one?
I think it's a UK base. Is it? Because I'm seeing a news here and I don't know how much we could trust it.
What is it?
What are they
RAG?
saying? Okay. Yeah, let me show you this. They're saying Trump's officials tell UAE to seize crucial Iranian island. So basically here, the Telegraph is saying US officials have suggested the UAE should take Lavan Island. I don't believe that. But,
yeah, I've seen a couple people talking about that. I just can't see how that's like a realistic scenario here.
That would make a lot of Iranians concerned, by the way, because that's basically they would think like, what is the UAE going to keep the Lavan Island? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, but also it indicates plans. Like, I don't understand why this is leaked, if it's true, because doesn't that mean that the United States would be going for Kharg Island and other islands to occupy themselves, and they're kind of, what are you calling, offshoring some of the other tasks to the UAE?
I don't know how to pronounce this name. How do you pronounce this name? I've seen
Atir. Wait.
Ayo. I'm going to call you Ayo. Ayo is saying Times of Israel also ran this story. Times of Israel is a better source than, I think, Telegraph.
Atyrian? I don't know. Oh, Aotearoa. Aotearoa? Otearoa. I can't say that.
Ayo.
Aotearoa.
I'm not seeing it on Times of Israel.
It should be right now. It's 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's 2:30 a.m. Tehran time. Come on.
Look at this. What do you think about this? Okay, so here's a compare. Did we compare these or no already together?
No, we actually didn't.
Okay, so this is, don't trust this because this is from Fars News, but Fars News is IRGC. Okay, so let's compare what at least they want to show us. Okay, with the US, with the preconditions of the Islamic Republic. So the Islamic Republic is basically saying that they, based on the latest round of negotiation with the US, this is what the US has told them on what they want. Okay. And this is what the Islamic, so this 5 is what the US wants from the Islamic Republic, allegedly. Bad source of information, so don't trust it. And these are the 5 that the Islamic Republic wants from United States. Okay, this is true. This 5 is true. This 5 could be true, but we can't know until we get a better source of information. Okay. So here's the US demands from the Islamic Republic, allegedly. 1, no compensation or damages paid to Iran. I can believe that. Obviously, that's true. Okay. So that doesn't, there's no disagreement on the fact that this is what the Americans want. 2, Iran, again, I'm just going to read it as is. Iran transfers 400 kilograms of uranium to the US. The only thing that is weird about this is the 400 number. Why is it 400 instead of 440? There's 440 kilograms of uranium, enriched uranium. So why is this 40? Where is this 400? Where's the other 40? Okay, so that's the issue with number 2.
Since that's per Fars News, which is Islamic State media, maybe they're signaling to their own followers that they can continue to enrich uranium. They just have to wait it out until Trump's done.
No, that's the third part. We're on the second part. On the second part, this is not about enriching uranium. This is about the enriched uranium that they already have, right? So maybe what they're signing is that we get to keep 40 kilograms. Maybe that's what they're signing here.
Mhm.
So what you're saying, that's the second point. Okay? They're saying that the Americans are telling them that they can have a nuclear facility functioning. So look at this. Only one nuclear facility allowed to remain active. So this is the most fucked up part of this, which is like something that a lot of people would be like, what the fuck, right? Would the Americans allow the Islamic Republic to have a nuclear facility to remain active inside Iran? Again, remember, the source of this is the IRGC, so we can't believe this for now. But I'll get back to this, okay? So the third one is the most problematic one. The fourth one says none of Iran's frozen assets release. Yeah, we could believe that easily. For sure. That's true. The Americans. That's what they would want. And 5, ceasefire conditional on negotiations, not guaranteed. Yeah, I could believe that either. So the main issue here is number 3. No, this is not clash. Forget about clash report. This is been going everywhere. This is I'm seeing this everywhere. Focus on this. This is the source. The source is not clash report. Forget clash report. The source of Diggy's 5 is Fars News. And Fars News is one of the 2 most important IRGC outlets. The other one being Tasneem. Okay? So we're not saying this is a good source of information. Okay? But this is true. This other 5, we know this is true. Okay? So the Islamic Republic's preconditions for any talks is full ceasefire on all fronts, especially Lebanon. As Ali, if any, like you see, we constantly get reminded of how non-Iranian this regime is. That the main place they want to ceasefire is not even on Iranian soil. It's not anywhere else. In Lebanon is their highest priority. Basically, stopping attacks on Hezbollah is their highest priority. Like, how non-Iranian can you get as a regime, right?
So that means that they've invested the most into Hezbollah. That's their most important one.
Yeah. So this is true. I mean, all of this is true, okay? But this is so retarded, right? And also, this is retarded because what they're asking for is for United States guarantees that they will never attack the Islamic Republic and any of its proxies and terrorist groups ever again. They want guarantees on that, which is such a dumb, like, why would United States agree to this? That would never happen. So that's 1. 2, lifting of all anti-Islamic Republic sanctions. Like, if Trump did that, this is by far worse than anything Obama ever did. Release of all frozen assets of the Islamic Republic. Again, if Trump does this, it would be by far worse than anything that Obama did. So I don't see that ever happening. Like, that's unimaginable for that to happen. Right?
Yeah.
Compensation for war damages. Again, I can't imagine President Trump ever doing that. But the dumbest one of them all is this last one. Okay? And let me tell you why this is the dumbest one. It says recognition of the Islamic Republic's sovereignty over the Strait of Hormuz. What they're saying here is that the Islamic Republic will maintain control over the Strait of Hormuz forever. You know why this is the dumbest one of them all? Because this is not just about the US. The whole world cannot accept. I mean, all of these 4 is unimaginable for the US to accept. But this last one is not just even the US. This last one, nobody like China, UK, France, UAE, Saudi Arabia, the entire world would be against this. Like, what is this? This is so stupid. This is so dumb. So, going back to this third point, which is the one that many Iranians will be concerned about, of like, what the fuck? Like, are we being this flexible that we're going to allow the Islamic Republic to enrich uranium? So the first point is like, first of all, don't panic yet, because we don't know this, because the source of this is Fars News. And we know about this 5. This is true, but we don't know if this is true. But even if it was true, these 5 are so far away from this 5. Like, they're not even in the same continent. They're not even in the same planet. They're not even in the same universe. Okay, like, even if Americans are being flexible enough to be like, okay, fine, Islamic Republic, you get to have 1 nuclear facility active. Even if that was the case, like, the Islamic Republic is not at all in a position right now to accept these terms. This is what the pro-regime people expect from the Islamic Republic, not this. So even if they agree to this, they will lose all. If the Islamic Republic agree to anything short of this, they will lose so much credibility among their own supporters. It will be their end of their credibility among their regime followers.
You know, if we zoom out a little bit, not like actually zoom out, but if we just like, actually, yeah, could you put the, if you put them next to each other like that? Okay, so look, guys, the demands on the top are what the Islamic Republic state media are saying to their own followers, so that they are showing that there's a huge disparity between the demands of the US and what they are willing to accept, the regime is willing to accept. They're making up these US demands on purpose, okay? Like, I don't imagine any of these would actually be true. And then they're saying, well, the US would give us some concessions, you know, because we, the Islamic Republic, are obviously winning, so they're going to give us some concessions, but that's not enough for us. We want everything. We want all winner takes all kind of situation. And obviously, you can't just give away, like, the United States doesn't own the Strait of Hormuz to give it to the Islamic Republic anyway. But
exactly.
These guys are not, like, the whole world will turn against them. They're not thinking past 24, 48 hours. They're just trying to keep their own followers, which, I mean, if they're posting stuff like this and trying to arm them, are probably on the brink of becoming disloyal. This is just to keep their followers in the short term under control, under wraps. This is all BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amir made a good point. They should be extremely careful to not lose their supporters now that they armed them. Oh.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Good
maybe the
point.
militia that they brought in are going to have to work, but, you know, maybe on the regime supporters. Maybe they'll join in. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody we got a super chat saying, see Trump's flag over Iran? Yep. Yeah,
Man,
exactly. And thank you for the
photo.
super chat, Sherry. And yeah, this is like I mean, it doesn't get any more clear than this, right?
That is the clearest thing. I wonder what it means, guys.
I wonder. What's not very clear is this other post by President Trump. Hold on, let me show you. Have you seen this one?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
What does this mean? Oh my god. Trump loves AI.
Apparently, the alien's not He's dangerous, but he's not that dangerous. We're just gonna put some handcuffs and ankle cuffs on him, but he can walk right next to the president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Casey, thank you so much for the $1 super sticker. Thank you.
You know,
Interesting.
about the flag picture, I think one signal that is coming from it is that they actually do have a coalition now. It's more than the US and Israel this time. That's what I think.
Oh, you're saying that everybody, I don't know. I don't think Afghanistan, look at this.
No,
Like,
not everyone. But the message would be to the regime that, hey, there's more people than you think who are against you.
I think it's not about the people. I think he's saying that we're going to come at you from all sides. I think that's what it means. Like, we're going to come at you from all sides.
You know, I was saying this so long ago where I was saying, notice how they aren't hitting the eastern side of Iran. They aren't bombing the eastern side because they want to leave an escape route for the Islamic Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think they have an escape route anymore. I think whoever has stayed is a target, and they're going to go bye-bye.
Yeah. You know, from the coalition, I think UAE, this time when the attacks start, I think the UAE is going to take a much more active role. Oh, look at the super chat. How do you respond to this from Melissa? Thank you, Melissa, for the super chat.
Could it be they have US military or IDF boots on the ground to help the Iranians combat the regime or proxies gathered in streets? Thanks for your work. I would think highly unlikely, because not only is urban warfare very chaotic, but urban warfare with tens of thousands of civilians all around you is even more chaotic. And the potential of having casualties when you're the US military or IDF is almost guaranteed at that point. So that's very, very low.
We know they have Mossad boots on the ground. They don't have IDF boots on the ground, but they do have Mossad's on the ground. They have a lot of Mossad on the ground. We know that because they confirmed it. And they're also, the Mossad was involved in the beginning of the 12-day war. They were the ones who activated the drones from the ground inside Iran to target the missile launchers right before the operation started, right?
Yeah. And they've been active this entire time.
Yes. And
gas leaks.
And when we say Mossad agents, by the way, a lot of people have to understand that we're talking about Iranians. Guys, it's not an exaggeration to suggest that right now there's probably, guys, Israelis in the chat, let me know if you agree with this. Right now, there are more Iranian Mossad agents than Israeli Mossad agents, given the number of Mossad agents that Israel has recruited inside Iran. Do you guys think that's fair?
Oh,
because,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. But look, they won't have troops on the ground, Melissa, but there are like Garda Javidan or Iranian people who have enjoyed support from Mossad. They will be armed, and they're not going to just be standing there in the front of the street, like bearing the brunt. They're going to be like, this entire time, the instructions that they've been gotten is almost certainly to hit and move, and just to provide some, like pretty precision strikes and then go somewhere else. They definitely don't want to stay in the same area. And drones overhead will pretty much be, I would think, a huge force. Because again, those snipers up top, like how are you gonna get them? So yeah.
Casey saying, Armin, any news on Rodan? Ali had news on Rodan. I don't know if you were here. Do you want to give him a quick update on Rodan?
Yeah, Rodan came out with
a video.
Yeah, he came out with an interview, and he just said, we have arrested 6,500 traitors, spies, and foreign agents, 500 of whom are special cases.
Hmm.
It's just
Just
6,500. You guys had 6,500 spies in your country, and you guys just let that happen.
Hmm.
Like that. First
They're
of all,
just
that's
normal
an
Iranian.
embarrassment in the intelligence community. Second, 500 of them are special cases where they are like anti-Islamic revolution. We've heard that a billion times. You guys call anyone who's been politically against you that for forever. It's just a clown show, and that guy has to go.
Hmm.
He's one of the most hated people in Iran.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Hopefully this round.
Yeah, can you guys picture like committing these massacres? And Rodon's tactic is to basically create a kill box. So you use buildings, and in the streets, you block off the streets so people are stuck in a certain area, and you just fire into the crowd. So that's his tactic. And then after, come and brag about it. Yes, we fired on our own citizens in the most brutal way possible, and we enjoyed it. Like, the left somehow still defends this. I don't understand.
Wait, that's him. That's him, Rodon, right here on our boom boom chart. Hopefully he will have in the next update of this chart, he would have the skeleton next to his name, and he would be grayed out. So chief of police.
We might need a new chart after what's about to happen.
Oh my god, imagine if the new update of this chart has like half of these people grayed out, half of the ones remaining. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys, wouldn't that be a day? Imagine if we come here live again and guys, we have an updated chart and it's all grayed out. Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my god. Let it be. Let it be.
Maybe Mojtaba for last? Just so he's lost literally everyone?
Mujtaba is like we haven't even seen him enough to hate him as much as some of these other people here. Somebody in the chat was asking, like, isn't Vahidi more hated? No, not really, because we haven't seen him on TV coming out and saying like, oh, we arrested this person and killed that person. He's just the guy in charge, but we don't see him often. Like the people who are hated the most are the people who come out on TV and talk about killing the enemies or passing out execution, sentencing people. You know, they're in your face all the time, but they're crimes, right? So the most hated person, I think the most hated man in Iran right now is a toss-up between these two people, Ejei and Salavati. It's between these two. So if anybody, yeah.
Do you want to remind them who Ejei is?
Yeah, Ejei is the head of the judicial branch, so the chief justice, so responsible for passing, for executing so many Iranians. And Salavati is one of the main judges, and he has like a record of death sentences under his name as a judge. So and then I think that Rodon would be one of the most hated people. I want you to keep Pezeshkian and Arakchi alive, because I want to see how they react when all of this falls. Kill the rest of them.
We meant for this to happen. The enemy has a surprise waiting for them.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Also, Ejei, guys, not only does he order and has ordered the most executions, and he's completely bloodthirsty, but you guys have to think in the justice system, it goes beyond executions. They are so incredibly corrupt. There's all sorts of property and financial fraud that the regime will inflict upon you, the regular citizen. And if you go to complain about it and sue someone in the IRGC or even like the state, you will 100% almost lose that case. Like, you're never going to get justice of any kind. And in fact, like on my mom's side, my grandpa was completely financially ruined by Ejei's predecessor, which is the same institution as this.
Mm. Aryan is saying we should call Arakchi another name, Olakchi. Hey, that is not nice. Donkeys are beautiful creatures. Don't insult donkeys, Aryan. So Olak means donkey. But thank you for the super chat. But have you met a donkey? They're so cute. I love donkeys. So yes, Arakchi would never be as cute and adorable as a donkey. Okay. So yeah. Don't give Arakchi the honor to be compared to, yes, to a donkey. You know, donkeys are so, like, I don't know why donkeys are known as being dumb. You know, horses are dumb. Donkeys are actually, I mean, dumber at least than donkeys. Donkeys are actually pretty smart.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Donkeys are very smart and they have personality. The horses are retarded.
I'm actually curious. Why are donkeys stereotyped
as stupid? Yeah, every animal that is like smart is like, we use them as swear word for being stupid. Like goat in Iran, goats, donkeys, and pigs are like insults for being dumb, and they are actually three of the smartest animals out there.
Because people are dumb. That's pretty much why the stereotype is, because donkeys are, yeah, they can remember. Oh, I didn't know that. They can remember other donkeys for up to 25 years. Oh.
25 years. I don't remember people after a month.
Oh, it's because a donkey will stop when frightened or confused, but a horse will keep going.
See, that makes horses dumb and donkeys smart. So they're being smart, so they understand fear, like that they're scared for right reasons, so they stop going towards danger. But the horse is like, okay, I guess we're going that way. Okay,
Yeah.
like that's the donkey's smarter.
In fact, one thing that our ancestors used to do when they would charge into battle on horsetop was they would cover the eyes of the horse so that he could only see what's right in front of him, and they couldn't see what they were running into. Because in battle, if you're charging towards like a wall of human beings with spears and shields, you don't want the horse to see that and freak out.
Right. Yes, I'm saying horses are more aesthetic though and look more prestige. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So say judge a book by its cover. Oh, we got a super chat. Sarah saying, you guys, by the end of the month, Iran will be free in honor of all our Javid names, Javid Shah and Payende Iran. Oh. In honor of Hamid.
Yes.
Hamid Chakarnia. Javid Shah and Payende Iran in honor of Hamid Chakarnia. And Sarah, hopefully all the people who are responsible for his death will suffer in the upcoming attacks or in what the Iranian people are about to do to them after, hopefully.
What's your opinion on this, by the way? So from the very beginning, one thing that's always bothered me since the beginning of this revolution is that once Prince Reza Pahlavi comes in, once the transitional government is established, you have to uphold the law, regardless of who's committing the crime. And some victim who had his family murdered by the IRGC is inevitably going to go and want to get his revenge personally. And they know where this IRGC person, Basij person lives, and he's going to go and murder him. And then we have to uphold the law and put this person in jail, in prison, and convict him like a murderer. And that hurts me. But but that's the reality. It's gonna have to be like that. You have to uphold the law. But
Yeah.
before the transitional government happens,
Mhm.
who's to say? Who knows?
Yeah, so there's a time period where the Iranian people have their because once we have a transitional government, we want to show to the whole world that we're a civilized country, that we have the rule of law, that we have everybody, including the worst criminals, will be given the right to defend themselves, right? And with and they're going to be offered a lawyer. Even the worst crimes will be treated in the most civilized way, and we're not going to have kangaroo courts where people will be just hung or killed or tortured. We're not going to have torture. We hopefully wouldn't even have executions. I'm in hope so. We want to be like a modern civilized country, right? Unless we are dealing with like an Israeli situation where allowing people to live is a national security threat, right? But other than those cases, then we're not going to have executions, right? And that's what we want. We want to be modern, okay? And the justice system is not meant to serve our desire for revenge. The justice system is meant to, in a modern civilized country, the point of the justice system is stability, not to satisfy our desires for revenge. Okay. However, there is a time period a short time period between the fall of the Islamic Republic and the establishment of the transitional government, where we haven't gone to that point where we now have. We're still in a state of war with the regime. Okay, so it's a collapsing situation, and the regime is basically falling like a house of cards, and we're still in war mode, right? And I think because the rules in the times of war is different from the rules at the time of peace, and the Iranian people can participate in securing Iran's future from the people who are more likely to be a threat to our security. And the justification for that is that because things are chaotic and we still haven't established a transitional government, these people in the middle of a war are a threat to the safety of Iranian people, and the Iranian people shouldn't be taking a chance. So the justification would not be revenge. The justification is threat minimization. So all of these people who are part of the regime that are a threat to the Iranian people, their elimination would be with the understanding that this is threat minimization to the lives of Iranian people before we establish the new laws under the transitional government. And that would be a period of time where the Iranian people have their opportunity to settle the score. But that's all the time that you get to go do your thing based on where you know the regime people are. Right? You have a window of opportunity to do that. And once we establish the transitional government, your time is up. We don't want to go into a circle of violence and constant chaos. And we want to be a democratic, secular, civilized country that abides by the rule of law with the highest standards. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Beautifully said. You also want to move forward, and you don't want to be stuck in the past for too long. When that period is there and people are cleaning up the country, let's say, that is why it's so important to keep the names of all of these people and know exactly who they are. And a lot of people do know. I mean, the IRGC, they live in neighborhoods. They have houses. They parade around for 47 years. Everyone knows who they are. People close to them know exactly where they live. They know their relatives, their friends. It's not, they're not anonymous. It's not very hard to know who they are. So yeah, we view it as like a cleaning up. It's really just going to be a cleaning up, and it saves us potentially a lot of trouble down the road. Someone said something similar to this. Someone said, so Jojo said, New Iran banning Islam will be a beacon of light and reason to the world. So we can't actually ban Islam. And Armin, you should take this one.
Banning Islam would be the greatest gift to Islam. Okay, if you want to fight Islam, you need to fight it head on in the battlefield of ideas, head to head. Banning Islam will will make it go underground in the dark, away from sight, where it grows more with the victimization card handed over to it. Okay, you need Islam because banning Islam is not going to change people's opinion. So people who are Muslim, if you ban Islam, it's not like they're going to stop being Muslim because you banned Islam. All you do when you ban Islam is you're making Muslims not express that they're Muslim. And if you want to fight Islam, you want Muslims to be comfortable expressing that they're Muslim, so you could reach out to them. So you could basically, you need to see the threat. I do believe Islam is a threat. Okay, and banning Islam, I want to destroy Islam, but not by banning it. I'm also a free speech maximalist. So banning Islam would be a violation of free speech. It's also a violation of everything Prince Reza Pahlavi stands for.
And here's how it's going to work. We know that the biggest obstacle to getting Muslims to stop believing in Islam is their environment, the people around them, the situation they grew up in, that community that they're a part of. Okay, it's hard to just leave that. But in Iran, there is no such environment that's very, let's just say, friendly to people who are very pro-Islam. And it'll be easier to do that in Iran, to leave Islam, than it would be in, a country literally right next door. And I'm hoping that as time goes on, there's less and less of them, plus educating young kids as they grow up on Islam. Like, you should teach them what Islam is. You should teach them everything, teach them what happened, and then let them choose. And I guarantee you, because of that environment, not many of them will be choosing Islam. Do you know what I mean by environment?
Yeah. Yeah, in that environment, yeah. It would be uncool to be Muslim. But how do you respond to this? Because Jojo is saying, but Islam destroys nations from the inside. Tolerating it is insanity. Jojo, I do not tolerate Islam. Okay, I think banning Islam is tolerating Islam. Because banning Islam makes me blind to where Islam is. So you saying we shouldn't tolerate Islam. Okay, I agree. I want to destroy Islam. I want to end Islam if possible. I mean, as much as possible, right? So I want in order for me to be able to fight Islam, I have to see where it is. I want to see who believes it. Banning Islam doesn't get rid of Islam. Banning Islam doesn't get rid of Islam. Like, if somebody has Islamic belief, and then you say we pass a law that bans Islam, do you think this person is going to go look at there's a new law that says Islam is banned? Okay, therefore I'm no longer a Muslim. Obviously, he will still be a Muslim. He's just not going to express that he's a Muslim. And if he doesn't express he's a Muslim, how could I know about this underlying belief that exists in my society and growing I don't know by how much, that these people believe in, that are now that's growing in the darkness. They're hiding it. I want that person to be comfortable to come and say, I'm a Muslim with zero fear. So I could go and tell him, why the fuck are you a Muslim? I mean, I'm going to say it differently, right? I need to
Yep.
be able to reach out to this community to try to change their mind. I need to make them feel comfortable to come and say that banning them is not going to make the Islam go away. And Javid is saying, Armin, why? Well, what do you mean why? I want to fight Islam. Banning Islam doesn't end Islam. I mean, look at this. The Islamic Republic tried to ban un-Islamic ideas. Did that work? Hey, maybe you should learn from the Islamic Republic. How did banning anti-Islamic ideas work for the Islamic Republic? Do you want to copy the same strategy? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Oh, thank you, Dandy. Go on.
But Javid, we learned, and we're going to learn. We're not going to repeat the same mistakes we did in 1979. No way. After decades of learning, it's just never going to happen. And the whole point is that you have to teach it, you have to make it available, and you have to have an environment where naturally people think that Islam is bad. And that way, Islam is going to die.
Yeah. Let me see. I want to see if other people. Okay, we got a super chat. We need to respond to that, but I want to see what other people have to say about this. Why are they saying there has to be a revolutionary government before the transitional government? The first government kicks ass and takes names. Revenge is justice. Everything that happens during the revolution needs to be pardoned by the crown prince. I mean, revolutionary government is a country like. You could just be in a revolutionary phase, and we already have a leader of the revolution, because revolutionary government is as self-contradictory as the Islamic Republic continuing to be revolutionary. Because if you have a government now, what are you doing a revolution against, right? So I think just staying in the revolution phase to do the cleansing, and it wouldn't be for revenge, it would be for, like, we shouldn't call it for the sake of revenge. I think we should call it for the sake of threat minimization to the Iranian people for their safety, getting rid of the most dangerous elements. Because we don't, even though I know it will be for revenge, we don't want to officially make it for some people it's going to be revenge, but officially it should be for something else, in my opinion. Lior is saying, what is, and thank you, Wyatt, for the super chat. You're always very generous. Lior is saying, what is the percentage of the 40,000 protesters who were Muslims? We have no idea, but but Lior, that's a very good point. A lot of people are like, oh, look, but we should like ban Islam because look at how many people the Islamic Republic killed. Many of them were Muslims.
Yeah, the percentage is not zero.
I don't know. Yeah, that percentage is not zero. It's a minority. I know it's a minority, but it's not zero. It's not zero.
Someone asked you if communism should be banned.
So communism and Islam should be banned from politics in Iran. Okay? In my opinion. Actually, it's not up to me. This is how I would vote. Okay, for Islam, I don't even need to vote for that. Because for Islam, one of the 4 principles is secularism. So Islam will automatically be out of our politics. No votes required, right? For communism, me as a person with 1 vote will vote for whatever politicians who will keep communism out of Iran's politics. Like, I would say any communist party is illegal. Okay, But that doesn't mean communism. You can't ban communism. What do you mean? Like, how do you ban communism? Like, if somebody comes to society and says, like, I think communism is good, like, would that get a fine? Because somebody says, like, no, I want to debate that person. I want to know why that person thinks communism is good, so we could cure him or her from his disease. Okay? From his communist disease. I want to cure that person. How could I know that this person is sick in the head with the communist virus if he doesn't feel free to come and tell me that he's a communist? So communism is a disease, just like Islam. And I want the patients of this disease to be able to come and tell me that I'm fucking sick so we could cure them.
Yeah, good question.
Guys, you can't ban ideas. You can't ban ideas. Banning ideas just makes them grow out of sight. That's all you're doing.
I think everyone knows someone who is a communist, actually. But yeah, you can't ban what they say, but people can learn about what communism is so they can not vote for it. And yeah, Iran is going to have its politicians. You know, it's not going to be but you can't apply the same rules from before to a new Iran. There's not going to be dictators or, you know, a couple people who just hold all the power. You're going to view you're going to have elections, you're going to have campaigns, people have time to pick and choose. Along those lines, Deborah asked, isn't Reza Pahlavi a Muslim? A secular Muslim, but still a Muslim? I actually have no idea.
He is a nominal Muslim. A nominal Muslim. Yes. And so, guys, people here, guys, I am aggressively anti-Islam. Okay? And I also understand this. And Iranians in the chat. Okay, so Javid is saying he's 100% not. So if he's not a Muslim, then you're saying he's a liar. Because he has said that he's a Muslim. So Javid Shah Free Run 2026. If he's not a Muslim, are you calling him a liar? You know he has said I'm a Muslim, right? Oh, CMD is saying, I don't know what that is, nominal Muslim. Nominal Muslim is somebody who is nominal by, no, not 40 years ago, not 40 years ago, like less than 5 years ago. Nominal Muslim is somebody who, if you ask them if they're Muslim, they will say yes, but nothing in their lives shows you that they're a Muslim. Nothing in their life shows you. So they're a Muslim by name only. So Prince Reza Pahlavi is like that. It's a nominal Muslim. It's somebody who is only a Muslim by name. Like non-practicing, like, yeah, but like more than non-practicing, like nothing in their life shows that they're a Muslim except when you ask them. Muslim in name only. Yeah, exactly. So the way I categorize Muslims is that we have nominal Muslims and we have minimalist Muslims. And then we have fundamentalist Muslims, and it's a spectrum. So minimalist Muslim is somebody who does the minimum of what is required, and the rest of their life they don't really think about Islam. Like they pray, they fast, they don't drink alcohol or pork, and that's about it. Wait, hold on. We got a super chat by Aryan saying, can Iran be free with hardliners still present? With hardliners still present, like inside Iran? Yes, Iran could be free with hardliners still present because we have garbage people in every country. We have garbage people in the United States, and the United States is a free country.
Maybe he also means that before we establish a transitional government, if the hardliners have power, he could also mean it like that.
So say that again.
Maybe he also means that if there's some hardliners left from the regime who still have some sort of power.
Oh, if they're from the regime and if they were participating in supporting the regime, then they should be tried. for their crimes. If they're hardliner in the beliefs only, yes. If they're not like YouTube, that's a joke. We're not going to kill anybody, right?
Yeah.
So if they're hardliner in their views only, but they haven't been part of the regime, then yeah, they're just shitty people that we have to take responsibility for as part of the country, just like every other country does.
Yes, take responsibility for. That's what we meant, YouTube.
Yes. Aryan, thank you for your super chat. And Soapbox, thank you so much for your super chat. And Melissa is saying, can you crack down on extremists? It's not, we must be cracking down on extremists. We're going to be hunting them down. We're going to be hunting them down, every single one of them, for sure. That would be the responsibility of the new government. I just want to see why people are disagreeing. Like some people like Omid and Jojo, what is that disagreement here? Like I don't understand.
I get where it comes from. Like you hate the IRGC so much, you want them gone completely. Like you don't even want a slight reminder of the future when you walk down the street and see like a mullah or anything like that. And I get it. But when you create a new country, the law is applicable to everyone. Like whatever laws you set, you can't pick and choose.
So Omid, you're saying if you want to be a nominal Muslim, you can go back to Pakistan or Saudi. Omid, I know you know that Prince Reza Pahlavi has said that he's a Muslim. Do you know that? Like, do you know that he said that? So Omid here, let's say Omid is saying, we agree that Islam is a cancer, right? Yes, I agree. Islam is cancer for sure. Why, when we have a chance now to eliminate it, why allow it to exist? I don't want to allow Islam to exist, but your method of getting rid of Islam doesn't work. Like, I hope you guys understand that I'm as anti-Islam as it could get, but I also know banning ideas has never worked. Like, why do you guys think that I'm tolerating Islam but suggesting that we can't ban it? I'm not tolerating Islam. I'm just telling you that your method of trying to fight an idea we have empirical data that shows that you don't get rid of ideas. You can't get rid of ideas by banning it. So Lior is saying we ban Nazism, and that didn't get rid of Nazism, right? Like,
You should
we have
tell
Nazism
them
in Germany.
You should tell
We
them
have more Nazism in Germany than we have in US right now. And we didn't ban Nazism in the US, and we did ban it in Germany. In US, Nazism is not banned. So there you go.
You should tell them the difference between Muslims and Islam.
Islam is cancer. Muslim is a cancer patient. So Javid is saying Omid is 100% right. Well, explain it to me. I'm trying to learn from you guys. Like, saying somebody is 100% right, like, okay, explain it to me. Make the argument. So Javid, you're saying that, Javid, by saying Omid is 100% right, you're telling me that you think Prince Reza Pahlavi should go to Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, and he doesn't belong in Iran. You just told me by saying that Prince Reza Pahlavi does not belong in Iran. That's what you said that. So you think that Prince Reza Pahlavi, being a nominal Muslim, that's what you say when you say Omid is right. This is an interesting debate here. Hold on, we got super chats. Shannon is saying, is the regime with all their violence and oppression fail to ban things? How will their opposition succeed? Yes, exactly. Let me read that again properly. If the regime with all their violence and oppressions fail to ban things, how will their opposition succeed? Yeah, exactly. You have to learn from the failures of the Islamic Republic. Islamic Republic tried to ban ideas and it backfired on them. Why would you want to repeat their mistake? Really good point, Shannon. And Wyatt is saying, after the American Civil War, people who supported the CSA were disenfranchised, meaning they couldn't vote, hold office, own land, own guns, etc. But what is that?
The Confederacy.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, the Confederacy, those are people who picked up arms and they were fighting. That's not free speech thing. These are people who took up arms and they were fighting the Union. So obviously that should be shut down. That's a crime. That's an action. That's not holding an idea. Any Muslim that wants to pick arms and fight the country, we will crush them. We will crush them like bugs. Like you're talking about anything resembling that action. Yes, of course we will destroy anybody who wants to do anything like that, obviously. I'm talking about people who just hold a belief. If they want to pick up arms or fight the country, they should completely be eradicated, for sure. So Omid is saying people will be shouted on the streets if they walk with hijab after freedom. So Omid, I have a question for you. What do you think Princess of Pahlavi thinks of this? If somebody brought this up to Princess of Pahlavi, be honest with me. Do you think Princess of Pahlavi would endorse this? Would say like, yes, that's what should happen in the future of Iran? Just be honest with me, Omid. Would you think Princess of Pahlavi thinks this is a good thing or a bad thing? Tell me. Tell me in the chat right now if you think this is a good thing or a bad thing. According not to you, but to Princess of Pahlavi. Okay, there you go. Good job. Saying, I know our Shah wants to allow all religions. Yep, good. So you know. Good. I'm proud of you for admitting that. I'm proud of you. And by the way, I understand how much you guys have suffered. So I hope you don't think that I'm attacking you. I completely understand where you guys are coming from. And honestly, Ali, as much as I'm lecturing about free speech and all, I don't know if I would be able to hold this position if any of my loved ones were killed by the Islamic Republic. So I'm not going to push back against your position. I know you've been hurt.
That's going to be a backlash in the future political landscape of Iran. The people who did suffer and had to have loved ones killed by the IRGC are going to say, well, you people who are saying we can't ban this and we can't do that and shouldn't do this, who didn't have relatives killed, who are you to tell us? That's going to be a debate.
Yeah. And Muhammad Reza Shah was a Muslim. He went to Hajj. Muhammad Reza Shah went to Hajj. Muhammad Reza Shah has served Iran more than anyone else I know.
But also, when Omid was saying that if they're on the street, like people are gonna like come tip their turbans or whatever, yell at them, that's the environment, right? Like you don't want that extreme of an environment where it causes any sort of violence, okay? But you want an environment where people, it's not cool to be Muslim. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah. And I'm okay with making it uncool to be Muslim. I'm endorse that. But hold on, look at this. Yeah, so he said, Omid saying, but we're allowed to disagree. People just won't accept Islam anymore. Watch and see. Watch and see what? I'm in favor of this. So Omid, you don't understand where our disagreements are. I don't want people to accept Islam. That's a good thing. I think you don't understand where I'm coming from. I want a society where people won't accept Islam. I just think the method of fighting Islam is different. The way that you have in your mind and I have in mind is different. See, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. You thought I would be against this. I'm in favor of this. I don't know how to make you understand where the difference between your position and my position is, because you think I'm soft on Islam. I don't want to show any mercy on Islam. I think your method of fighting Islam shows mercy to Islam. I think the idea of banning Islam shows mercy to Islam because you're giving them a way out. You're giving them a win. My method against Islam is more anti-Islamic than your method against Islam. It's more, my method against Islam is more brutal. It's more strategic than banning Islam.
There is one thing that I do think we should ban, though. I think we should ban the Haydar hoedowns. I think that shouldn't be allowed. It hurts my eyes.
Yeah, okay. Sure. So Javid saying that's wrong and you know it. Javid, you still cannot accept that the greatest Iranians, that Muhammad Reza Shah was a Muslim and he served our country, and Reza Shah is a Muslim and he's our only hope for saving Iran. And you are wrong and you know it, because your methods will mean that Reza Pahlavi, Prince Reza Pahlavi, doesn't even belong in Iran. That's what your method suggests. So look at this. You're saying Reza Shah the Great was secular. Okay, so you know why you say Reza Shah? First of all, so was Muhammad Reza Shah. Secular doesn't mean non-Muslim. Secular does not mean non-Muslim. And you're going to Reza Shah because you're admitting that Muhammad Reza Shah was even more Muslim than Reza Shah. And that's why you're going. So Javed, are you basically considering Muhammad Reza Shah to be a bad person because he was Muslim? You're running away to Reza Shah because you know you lose against me on Muhammad Reza Shah. So you know, by going to Reza Shah, this shows that you know that you're wrong.
Well, he also went to the UK as well. He's saying, where was that comment actually? There it is. I will be right back.
Okay. So Omid is saying, if you could kill Islam your way, why UK is so bad right now? If UK had banned Islam, they wouldn't have this problem. So again, you misunderstand. You want to ban I want to ban migration from Islamic countries. Banning migration from Islamic countries would have saved the UK, and banning migration from Islamic countries is not banning Islam. Banning Islam means that the government gets to come and police people's opinions and thoughts, and that's what the UK government is like right now. Policing people's opinions is actually what the UK is right now. You want a police state? We already have that. The Starmer government is a police state, arresting people for opinion on social media. So what would have saved the UK is banning migration from Islamic countries. That's what would have saved the UK, and that is not banning Islam. So you don't understand what I'm saying about. You don't understand what I mean about banning Islam, because I'm completely in favor of banning migration from Muslim countries and bringing it down to zero. I'm completely in favor of that, and that would have saved the UK. Let me do some super chats. Nima is saying, I know Islam came after Cyrus the Great. However, we need to follow his examples and accept all faiths, but remain proud under Iranian symbol. So, Nima, I don't accept all faiths. I don't accept Islam. Okay? So, I appreciate that, by the way. But a lot of people think that when I'm saying that we shouldn't ban Islam, they think that I'm accepting Islam. I don't accept Islam. I'm allergic to Islam. I want to completely destroy, I want to eradicate Islam. Okay? I want the end of Islam. But banning Islam is not how we get there. And I don't think, like, yes, Cyrus the Great accepted all faiths, but only because none of those faiths were Islam. Okay? Right? Because I don't think Cyrus the Great would have accepted Nazism. I don't think Cyrus the Great would have accepted Nazism. And Islam is worse than Nazism. Islam, in my opinion, Islam is worse than Nazism. So those faiths that Cyrus the Great accepted, none of them was Islam. Okay? And I don't accept Islam. I don't think Islam should be accepted in any society. But the best way to fight Islam is reach out to Muslims instead of telling them that their ideas are banned.
Well, there are so many there's so many clips coming out of the regime supporters with weapons.
Okay, let me just do the super chats really quick before we go to the Roman. But guys, if you think I'm tolerant of Islam, if anybody here thinks I'm soft on Islam, you don't know my history. I've been fighting Islam all my life, but I'm not just an anti-Islam activist. I'm also a free speech maximalist, and I'm also a secular activist. A secular activist means that fighting ideas is our responsibility. The government doesn't get to ban ideas. The government gets to ban crimes. The government gets to ban terrorism. The government does not get to ban ideas. Not everything is the government's job. Stop making the government do everything for you. Fighting Islam is the citizens' responsibility. We shouldn't give a government the authority to decide what is the right idea and what is the wrong idea. We shouldn't allow any government to be thought policing a society. There are certain things that rest upon the shoulders, the responsibility of it rests upon the shoulders of the citizenry rather than the government. We don't want a nanny state that comes and says, this is good, this is bad. Let's ban everything that is bad and allow that everything that is good. That is too much government overreach. Sometimes some shitty ideas is our jobs, is the civil society's responsibility to fight against. Instead of just sitting back and like, government, ban that, stop that, do that. That idea is, I don't like it. You go stop that idea. How about you get off your ass and go challenge these ideas yourself instead of getting the government involved every fucking time?
This is so true. Armin was fighting Islam before it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Ali, you know what? It was interesting because on my Persian channel, when I started this, people were calling me like fucking radical. You want to end Islam? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you a fucking Nazi? Like, are you like a radical? What do you want to do? And then over the years, I watched the same people in my audience who called me a fucking radical for wanting to end Islam, telling me like, Armin, you're soft on Islam. What happened to you? Why don't you want to kill all Muslims? Why don't you want to ban Islam? You're like, motherfucker, like, what are you talking about? You were calling me a radical just a few years ago. And now you
now they're more radical than you.
Yeah, they just passed me. Okay. Okay. Wait, hold on. Before you go there, let me just I just have two more super chats, okay? Wait, let me bring this back. Saying free from government mandating religion does not equal free to do whatever your religion dictates. Exactly. Should we really call it freedom of religion and freedom of religion and law? Okay, so freedom of religion and freedom in religion only means that you get to have those ideas. It doesn't mean that you get to practice everything mandated by religion, because everything mandated by religion that harms anyone else in society or violates everyone else's rights in society is going to be illegal. You just get to, freedom of religion means only two things. You get to have ideas, even if it's shitty, and you only get to practice the parts of it that doesn't harm society and doesn't violate everyone else's rights. That's what freedom of religion means. And also, freedom of religion is always an incomplete part of it, an incomplete description of the freedom that we're fighting for. We don't need just freedom of religion, we also need freedom from religion. People forget that part. And then, thank you, Roman Viking, for the super chat. And then we also have Curtis West is saying, unaliving, what is that? Essay? Unalive, killing, sexual assault, and assault will be against the law. Yeah, those will already be part against the law. Enforce that, and Islamic extremism will have nothing to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. That's exactly what I was just saying. And thank you for the super chat, Curtis. And then Sarah, thank you for the super chat, saying, so as citizens, we should just debate and change minds. Then first we have to educate ourselves on Islam because we're not as versed as you are. Well, Sarah, we could push for policies like this. Instead of banning Islam, we could we could push for policies that teaches critical thinking skills in elementary school, right? That's going to be very helpful. We could push for policy that teaches the history of religions from a secular perspective in early elementary school. That's a really good start, right? We could push the government to fund fund for more advertisement of Iranian culture and Iranian history and our Iranian identity. Like we need like cultural centers, museums, education centers, because a lot of people's belief in Islam is not about being logically convinced by Islam, but it's about an identity that they feel like they belong to. So convincing people out of Islam is only 10% of the job. 90% of the job is giving them a separate identity from their Muslim identity that they could celebrate and enjoy and feel like they belong to. So one thing, like I don't, I'm for limited government, but I'm not an anarcho-capitalist. I think governments have a lot of roles that they could play. And if you want government involvement, one thing the government could do is the constant advertisement of the Iranian identity and the Iranian history and the Iranian cultures. Right?
Yeah, so there's one reply by Omid that I want to talk about. So he's saying that all they wanted to say is that we don't want a terrorist group in our country that is actively planning to take over the government. Basically like terrorist organizations, but I hope things work out. Look, guys, we don't have to continue debating about this because you're free to think what you want, and Armin can think what he wants too. You know what is important? When we go and vote, you can go and vote directly about this stuff by picking people to vote for who are going to advocate for the things that you want. That's the whole point. The entire point is so that we are able to do that. And you can have differences. Now, if you want to choose to listen to someone like Armin, who, quite frankly, is an expert in this field and has had direct experience with how these things work, you can, and you can also not. That's the beauty of our new country. And I want to say about the cultural stuff, that's going to be like a dream come true for me. To have the government finally be behind all of this, and for Persian culture to be spread not just within the borders of Iran, but beyond its borders as well. I don't want people to ever think of Iran and associate it with the mullahs. Ever. I want that to be gone as soon as possible. I want people to go back to the way it was in 1979. When they hear Iranian, they think one of the most powerful passports in the world. They think a vacation spot. They think, very dignified, educated people. That's what I want people to think. And it's not going to be that difficult to get there. It's not going to be very difficult to give people an alternative identity. You know why? Because we have one that has been suppressed. It is so easy to bring it back out, and it is so easy to tell a child like me from age 4 that you are amongst one of the proudest peoples in the world. You have this incredible, rich, long history. They tell you the stories of Cyrus the Great, Darius the whatever, right? It's not that difficult, and it's going to happen very quickly. And it's going to be a dream. Quite frankly, you all will feel so much better and happier just simply passing by on the street and someone in a conversation is asking, "Where are you from?" And you say Iranian, and they go, "Wow, okay, that's cool. Nice. I like that. You guys have this, you guys have that. I like that." And there's no more controversy. There's no more, "Oh, you don't have to explain, yes, I'm Iranian, but our country's being headed by these Muslim Nazis." You don't have to say that anymore. It's going to be the complete opposite. You just say, "Thank you." Yeah. And you smile and you walk away.
First of all, very beautifully said, Ali. Also, 2 points regarding this comment that you highlighted. First of all, you're talking about terrorist groups. You think I don't want to ban terrorist groups? I want to go hunt them down. I want to send an entire army finding these people and hopefully shoot them where they stand and kill every single one of them. Like
In
guys,
game.
no, we're talking we're talking about terrorist groups. We're talking
No,
about
you
terrorists.
two, we mean like in a video game. Yeah.
So okay. So Omid, if you're talking about like earlier we were talking about nominal Muslims. Now you're talking about terrorist groups. So terrorist groups, yeah, go in with all the guns and tanks and whatever you need. So that's a different discussion. And if you're talking about terrorist groups, then I completely agree with you. Okay. And there's that. And yeah, Ali, thank you for saving the channel. Yeah. We're just
Yeah.
talking about hypothetically about the future of Iran. Okay. But
And the countries around us.
yes. Yes. Not only in Iran, Almid, when it comes to going hunting for terrorist groups, I'm not satisfied with keeping it within the borders of Iran. We want to go hunt these people wherever they are outside of our borders because they came from outside of the borders, right? So there's that.
And you guys know why that's important? Let me just give you a really clear image of why that's important. We don't want to end up like Israel, where we have people around us, like terrorist groups in other countries right next to us, that get strong enough to the point where they can threaten our people. We never want that to happen. Go nip it in the bud, get them while they're weak. That's it.
And then this Sherry was saying, I grew up thinking Iran was all terrorists. Glad it's not. Sherry, now you're realizing that not only Iran is not filled with Islamic terrorists, we're a whole bunch of anti-Islamic radicals that are spending our time. Our number one internal debate within this country is to figure out how to end Islam. like we're the farthest thing from what you imagine. Okay, we're the Islamophobia capital of the world, Iran. And I'm not joking, and we're proud of it. Okay, Iran is not only not Islamic, it's the Islamophobia capital of the planet. And we're just like, you can see the disagreement that we're having here is not over whether we should try to end Islam or not, is whether our disagreement is how we should end Islam. What is the best way to end Islam? But we all want to end Islam somehow. Okay.
Yeah. Marco Rubio says it best. There's no other government in the world where the people, or no other country in the world where the government and the people are so different.
Yes. Guys, I'm the guy. It's interesting that people think sometimes I don't go far enough, because I used to be famous for being the guy that's saying that we don't want Islam to reform. The only thing we want Islam to do is die. And that clip of me was taken, and people were like, oh my God, look at this radical, right? And I still stand by that. And, it's interesting that I get accused of being too radical against Islam and a softie at the same time. right. Oh my God. Oh, okay. We got another super chat by Lady Ariana. Oh, beautiful name, by the way, Lady Ariana. Saying history shows expansionist ideologies are stopped through decisive resistance, not appeasement. Hence the de-radicalization after what happened in Germany. Not some dialectical free speechism. The de-radicalization after what happened in Germany happened through a lot of speech. I don't know. So also, I don't know why you keep looking at Germany. United States had the best results when it comes to de-radicalization, better results than Germany. And United States has, more freedom of speech than any other country in the world. So I don't know why people keep looking at Germany, even though Germany is still filled with so many Nazis, and United States, with its free speech, has had more success with de-radicalization than Germany. So if we want to go by examples, why not keep bringing up the U.S.? In U.S., you're free to be a Nazi. In the U.S., you're free to be KKK. In the U.S., you're free to come out and say, I support, I don't know, ISIS. You're free to say that in the United States. And look at the results. Look at the US as a country. I mean, the results speak for themselves. Liberty is the way, guys. Even if you're fighting bad ideas, liberty, de-radicalization does not contradict having free speech. Right?
Yeah. Roman Viking said, "Don't you think there will be enough demand for Iranian culture that the government doesn't have to subsidize it?" No. They're not going to subsidize it. And there is enough demand. It's more of like, think of it this way. The government is going to help us achieve the goal faster by pouring money into programs like that. The goal is to have the national identity be so like widely acceptable and available as quick as possible. Okay? It was eventually going to get there anyway. We just want it to happen as soon as possible so we can start having people who were Muslims now be just not. The sooner that happens, the better.
All right, hold on. Let me answer that as a...
Oh.
So, yeah, here. There's this thing called positive externalities in the market, okay? So, is there already a lot of demand for Iranian culture? Yes. So, even with that government support, with that government subsidy, we will see so many cultural centers, so many museums, so much supply of Iranian culture because the demand exists and the market will respond to the demand that exists with supplying it. Okay. However, there are things within the market that the market is blind to, and that's called this concept of positive and negative externalities, meaning that when two people trade, somebody sells a good and a service and the other side buys that good and service, the market sees that two people are benefiting, the seller and the buyer. But sometimes the trade has an effect of on the third person in a positive or negative way, and the market only sees the two people involved in the trade, the two people or the two entities in the trade. It doesn't see the third person being affected by it. We call that externalities. So if that person is being positively impacted by it, we call it a positive externality. If that person is being negatively affected by it, we call that a negative externality. So for example, if me selling something to you is causing pollution, that third person is being negatively impacted by it. If I'm teaching you something and I'm giving you education, that third person having more education in society benefits other people beyond the buyer of education and the seller of education, and the market is blind to that. And because the market doesn't see it, the supply and demand are not reflecting the benefits and the cost through these externalities. And that's when the government needs to come and get involved and subsidize the trade that has positive externalities and tax the trade that has negative externalities. So culture, promotion of culture, is something that benefits people beyond the seller of a service and the buyer of the service. So whatever the market equilibrium is, based on the demand that exists in Iran for that culture, will not be the ideal amount that will be supplied, because other people will benefit from it beyond the people who are buying it and demanding it. Then it makes sense for the government to come subsidize it. I don't know. I got too nerdy here. I don't know if that made sense or did I go into too much detail. Hopefully
but
that made
also,
sense to somebody.
I think it makes sense. I think like it's not a foreign concept, but also, guys, what we're talking about is after the regime falls and after we're free to push for the politicians that we want, the campaigns that they want, and vote for whoever we want. And we're all still on the same side that we want the regime to fall.
Yeah.
In fact, we're on the same side about everything. It's just the method at which we want to get rid of a couple of things after is different. And that is the whole point. Like, that's good. That people think differently is good.
We got a super chat about a topic that I don't know much about. Oh, hold on. Two super chats. One, okay, actually, not this one. So Casey saying we didn't ban the KKK. Now they don't really exist. There you go. Case in point. Thank you, Casey, for that example. And then Roman Viking is saying, what do you think of Swiss democracy? that's a topic that I know very little about, so I was searching about it. So Swiss democracy is direct democracy. What? Everyday citizens vote directly on major national laws several times a year, meaning the public has the final say, but just not just politicians. I actually believe more in representative democracy than direct democracy. So interesting. And no single leader. Instead of one powerful president, Switzerland is governed by a 7-member council that rules by compromise and consensus. Active. It remains highly dynamic. On June 14th, citizens are heading to the polls for a high-stakes national vote to legally cap the country's population at 10 million. Okay, so here's what I would say. I don't know if their method works or not. I just know if a society has enough liberty, whatever democratic process has the best solution will eventually present itself. So as long as the people are sovereign and as long as the wisdom of the crowd allows to express itself, and when we have enough competition between different ideas to compete against each other, and the ones that are working get to win against the ones that are not working, there's no single model that is the right model. As every society just has to have enough political liberty for different ideas to compete with each other, and whatever works for that society would present itself in an emergent way, like an emergent property of the wisdom of the crowds, through a Darwinian competitive model. So as long as you have competition of different models, whatever works in a society will eventually win, and that would be the answer. The key is liberty. If you have liberty, you will always get to the right answer. That's what I think.
I agree
Hence
with
the
that,
name
but
of the
also,
channel. Hence the name of the channel. But yeah, go on.
but also look at Switzerland. Like consider what kind of a country it is. It's a small, low population country, and like I don't know if that's gonna that doesn't work for
Yeah.
everyone. Their system doesn't work for everyone. So that's why it works for them, right? Because they're a little bit different than some other countries, but
yeah. So yeah, all you need is liberty, and every society, whatever works for a society, will present itself. There is no right answer for a society. If you have liberty, your society will discover the best method. And there are certain principles where if you will have liberty. And those principles are the classical liberal values. So how do you get liberty? If you have these, let me give you the list of the things that you need to have. I put them under my list of enlightenment values. So what gives you liberty is separation of powers within your government. So there you don't have centralized power. Secularism, democracy, either representative or direct. Now that I see in Switzerland, they have direct democracy. So either democracy, some sort of it, freedom of expression, free trade, free markets, respect for fundamental human rights, property rights, respect for the scientific method, freedom of assembly, respect for the rule of law, civic nationalism, individual liberty, equality under the law. If you have these principles, you will have liberty. If you have liberty, the structure of the government that works best for you will eventually present itself. Okay. All right. So that was it. So we went longer than usual today. Oh my God, we went for 3 hours. Sorry, Ali, did I hold you for too long?
no, not at all. We
Okay,
just had 1,000 viewers in total.
Oh my God, wow. Amazing. Across all platforms. Okay, guys. Oh, so Ali, did you want to add anything before we go? Let's advertise your channel.
No. Sent you the clips of them pushing the weapons on the TV. The latest bit of global news. I mean, the situation's still the same over the Middle East. The skies are clear. Looks like everyone's pretty much anticipating strikes to resume. And aside from the Middle East, the only thing of note, which is more of a fun little thing, the U.S. Special Envoy to Greenland arrived in Greenland today. to speak more about that. So I guess the Greenland situation is going to pick up soon, maybe.
Oh wow, really? Okay, that would be
But,
interesting. I have a lot of opinions about it.
yeah.
Okay.
I would really appreciate it if you guys did subscribe. I did make my YouTube channel 17 days ago. It's 2.5 weeks ago, and we're trying to push to more people. And I do want to
Yes.
get you guys coverage to
Ooh.
like every little thing that's going to be happening when the strikes are back. Like I had information that would tell you like what neighborhoods are being hit in Tehran at like what time. So I'm going to talk about that if you guys want. And yeah, in the future, I will be in Iran, so you'll be seeing content about that. So make sure you subscribe, please.
Yep. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna put the link to Ali's channel in the live chat. The link is also in the description, and you can see it on the screen. And hold on, where is this? There we go. Let me bring it back up. Kind of messed up. There you go. I made the mistake that I told you not to. Okay. So yeah, that's Ali's channel. That's the link is in the chat. The link is in the description. And so go subscribe to his channel. You can see how many we are 683. We're trying to get him to 1,000. Okay. So that's one thing. And the next thing you need to do is you need to come and join our discussion group. The link to that is also in the description. It's also, you could scan the QR code on the screen as well. If you don't have a description when you're watching, you could scan that QR code and that will take you to our discussion group. And I'm going to put the link in the chat as well. And once you come to our discussion group, check the calendar. So you can see the events that I'm hosting. You could, the dates and the time. And if you click on it and if you see my face, that's an event that I'm hosting. I'm usually not that angry, but it's fine. And if you see Ali's face, it's an event that Ali is hosting. So you could go and talk to Ali at those times. Okay. So yeah, that's about it. And let me fix this format here. There we go. Okay, so that's about it. Oh, we got a super chat. One more super chat from Amir saying, just making sure sent you Liberty Politics, the Yemen School. Okay, we'll respond. I'm going to go, Amir, if you don't mind, I'm going to go do something else. And then after a couple hours, I will respond to it. Thank you, Amir. And sorry for the late response, okay? But I will respond to it. Thank you, Amir. I will respond to it soon. Okay, guys. So, yeah, I'm Israel Chai. Long live America.
Long live America.
Javid Shah.
Javid Shah.
Payende
Payende
Iran.
Iran.
See you guys same time tomorrow. Bye, guys.